Hello and good evening. We're in the US. We're not in Australia, as you might have thought due to our intro, but we're in the US tonight, and it is Tally the Votes Lost Alliance Survivor 50 cast recap. So we were here months and months ago when the 50 cast was dropped, and we had some opinions, but we're back now to either back up or shoot down those opinions and share our thoughts about the cast performance. So tonight's Lost Alliance consists of 3 different podcasts. We've got a few to go through here. So let me introduce them to each of you. Okay, first and foremost, there's Scott, the man, the voice, the legend. Not only is he the host of the serious TV drama STVD Twilight Zone, Scott Forgot the 80s, and STVD Survivor 50, he is also the ringer, or crooner if you will, you'd want at your side if you find yourself at the battle helm of the karaoke kill zone. Welcome, Scott.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Jamie.
Yes, well, we're glad to have you. And then also, we've got David, who is 1/3 of the Tally trio at Tally the Votes, a man of the mall, and the Ringo to my Paul. It's good to see you, David.
Wow, Ringo. About right.
Get there in the back.
He's got to keep the
All right,
pace.
listen,
Right?
we are not leaving out my podcast. Got to keep it up. We're not going to leave out my podcast better half, the queen of the pre-check-in mixed drink. It's the Tally the Votes gal with all the giggles, my dear friend Christy.
Hey, we might not be in Australia, but we are all mates here, are we not? We're fine. We're good. How you doing?
Indeed we are. Okay, well, finally, there's a man of many faces and apparently many names. He co-hosts at STVD. He is the quad man for TTV's Traders. You might know him as Legal Fergus. Coach knows him as the Huntsman of the Black Forest, but you can call him Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hey, as the only person on this podcast that's talked to a cast member of Survivor 50, I just want to say it's an honor to be here as part of the inaugural members of the Dragon Slayer clan. I'm happy to be here tonight and looking forward to this with you guys.
And for the record, that flex took 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Perfect. Somewhere in the middle of it was a haiku.
And I am your... Oh, no, there will be... Listen, there's going to be a lot of crap tonight, but there will be no haikus. Not intentionally. All right, guys. I'm your host, Jamie. I am the captain of this gaudy yacht, and we're about to drop anchor on the Isle of Fiji, so let's hop on out and set up camp. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to go through the list of castaways, their tribes. It's going to be narrated by my co-captain, Scott. And then we are going to rate their performance using the tried and true thumbs up, thumbs down method. And if there is a lone thumb in the group, then they may be called on to defend their vote. So once we get to the final 3, Scott is going to read each of their resumes. And then at that point, we're going to hold our own Lost Alliance final tribal council, and you will be asked to vote at that time. But now, Scott, it is your turn to grab the wheel, and I'm going to leave it up to you.
Oh dear God! All right, well, let's head right for the iceberg now. So we had the 24, and they were hacked up into 3 different tribes. And since we will be referring to the tribes that they were either on initially or later on throughout their descriptions, I should disclose each tribal breakdown. So first you had the Vatu tribe, which was purple. And on that tribe we had Colby, Genevieve, Rizzo, Angelina, Q, Stephanie, Kyle, and Aubrey. Then you had the Kahlo tribe, which they went with the teal color. In that tribe we had Charlie, Coach, Jonathan, Mike or Mike White, because name like that you give both names, Chrissy, Dee, Camilla, and Tiffany. And on the Scylla tribe, which was orange. We had Joe, Savannah, Christian, Mrs. Fields, Emily, Rick Devens, and Jenna. Now, the one thing that to also mention that I think we're going to give our opinions on, we may just go with a thumbs up or thumbs down here, unless it deserves conversation, are the fact that there were a number of different twists and advantages that were introduced specifically for Survivor 50. And I believe we all have definite opinions on them. And in fact, before we even get to the very first player who was voted out, we actually found out about the very first new twist in the game. And it was the Billie Eilish Boomerang Immunity Idol. Hey, gang. Let's vote thumbs up or thumbs down how much we enjoyed or appreciated or felt it had any important impact on the game whatsoever. This Billie Eilish Boomerang Immunity Idol. And remember, we always have to say Billie Eilish first. You can't just say Boomerang, apparently.
It's a brand. It's a brand now, guys.
Can we henceforth refer to this as the bully shit
Oh,
Boomerang Idol? This is bully shit. This is not Billie Eilish. It's bullshit.
So-
Okay.
okay. For
Okay,
those who are
I'm not-
listening and
I'm-
not watching, we got 3 thumbs down. David, is it thumbs down or a draw? I couldn't tell.
I mean, it's
Thumbs
kind
down,
of
okay.
that.
All right.
I'm,
okay.
I'm
You're a
willing
little
to
bit
say
thumbs
why.
down, a little bit of a draw.
Yeah, a little bit of a drop because I think the Billie Eilish of a side of it, like, okay, forget it. The idea of something that you can give to someone else for goodwill, like it could actually be used correctly. Just the way they did it didn't work. You know what I mean? I think they could revamp this and it could be better. It wasn't fully formed.
Yeah,
Because it never boomeranged really. So
right.
Well, I don't know that you're really planning on it to boomerang, but at the very least, you could be making alliances by, hey, I sent you that thing. You know, like
so
At
so
the
what you're
very
saying
least.
is it didn't boomerang, but did it Billie Eilish?
maybe I don't like the boomerang concept. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe you can gift it to someone is nice.
Well, then it
I think
becomes
we've
something
seen
I think
that
we've seen
before.
before. Then there's nothing really
Yeah.
original about it. The problem,
well.
there was a couple problems with it. Number one, the fact of how it ended up being used in the game, it amounted to nothing. Two people
Yeah.
used it just to get rid of it, and one person left
Yeah.
with it in their pocket. So there was never a boomerang effect.
But there's
No.
lots of times where something has not been used correctly because they just don't know. They haven't figured out yet how to.
They don't know
make
how
it
to
work.
do it.
but that-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But until it gets used correctly, much like
It
say
sucks.
it's almost like the power advantage or whatever it is. Knowledge is
Knowledge is
power
power.
advantage.
Not just
Mhm.
power.
Until we see it used correctly, it's a
It
shitty
sucks.
advantage. I
Okay,
apologize for the
that's
language.
fair. That's fair. I think it
Okay,
could be.
I would wager
figured
that
out.
if in the future we had a similar twist, that upon opening it needs to be like one of those like ink packs, like that when you steal, when you shoplift, it comes with like the ink pads that are supposed to
Bright
explode
pink,
on you,
Yeah, right.
or like when you rob the money from the bank, yeah. So you open it, boom, now you're marked. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I think the only ways that would have made it better or perhaps work is two things. Number one, the time on the advantage needed to be more limited, so they only had a certain amount of time before they could use it.
That'd be
number
good.
two,
Yeah.
the thing that I didn't love about it, the boomerang aspect was kind of, I like that. What I didn't like was the person who got the idol, one of their stipulations was they were not allowed to play it for someone else. I didn't really understand why that needed to be in there.
Yeah, because like
that removes strategy
agree.
from it. and
I
don't
think
like it.
I think it gave the
Yeah.
person who was giving it to them some modicum of control. They couldn't use it to save somebody that maybe that person didn't want to be
Yeah.
saved.
that's true.
Okay, I can
I
see
think,
that.
I
and
mean, it doesn't make it less dumb, but
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
I also think something like this works well when it's somebody on one tribe finding it, sending it out of their tribe to another tribe. Except then they end up swapping them around. If they didn't swap them around, then let it be like you're giving it to someone else on another tribe. And it was really cool here because they all knew each other, right? So they could send it. But as soon as they intermix, now it doesn't work.
Right.
It's to help you in those initial days.
There you go.
Brian,
Oh,
I think
Brian-
you're on mute.
Brian,
I am sorry,
There
my
he
dog
is.
went outside, so I didn't want him to make an appearance on the video.
What a weird euphemism.
No, he really did. He just
Whether
my
before,
son just
whether-
walked by with
was it
him.
before or after he ate your homework?
No, but
Before
I
the homework
think
day.
the point you all are making, what would have been really interesting if you want to make the game quick and dynamic, is say the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol goes to somebody on one of the other tribes, and as soon as the tribes switch up, it's dead.
Yeah.
So that you put
Oh.
like this ticking time bomb that somebody knows that maybe there's only going to be 2 or 3 days they
Use
can
it
use
now,
it in,
yeah.
and if not, it's void.
Oh.
Because
Well-
otherwise, the thing is, the idea is you want this happening in a tribe where it doesn't come back and affect you that time. So I
So
think
what you're
to
saying
get
is
it,
you don't want it to be Rizzoed, which is now going to be a verb, like
Right.
forever.
yes,
I don't disagree with that, Brian. The only problem would be, and it's what ends up happening, is when they get to a shuffling of the tribes, perhaps a little sooner than they expected, because we had a person depart a little quicker than they expected, because they still had a vote, as opposed to, oh, someone left and now we're not going to do a vote. This time around that would happen, but they still were doing
But
the vote.
you know how like every season it seems like early on there's one tribe of the 3 that always gets like severely decimated.
Yes.
So if you were lucky enough to figure that out and you found that and you sent it to one of those players, either A, you're saving them so that they can be the last person standing on their tribe, which those people will usually go far in the game because they're not a threat now,
Mhm.
or they're gone because that tribe's getting decimated and then it comes back to you. So that first
It's just a
initial 3
win-win.
tribes, it could work in that situation. But yeah, then once they start shuffling, it's messy. and
Okay,
gross
so I
and
think
dumb.
that the ultimate strategy here is just to shorten the amount of time it can be used.
Would it work though if
Right,
they'd have
but
introduced it
that's
at
it.
like 12? If they'd introduced it at 12, not at 24, so there were less people in the game, and it would have been very significant at that point.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. It's still dumb.
I mean, I suppose.
TUMB.
I suppose, but I mean, when you have half of the cast, when you have half the cast gone, you don't want to send anything to anybody that's going to increase their odd over you.
Well, but that's what makes it interesting, right? Because
If you're
now you
already
have
starting
to
put
send it
together
to
your
somebody.
final.
Right, you can't keep it for yourself.
Right, you have to send it to somebody, so you're going to send it to somebody you're aligned with, I guess. But
And then
So
in that case, we would have to change the name from the Billie Eilish Idol to the Billie Idol Idol.
Uh-oh.
Because you'd be dancing with yourself.
I
And
don't
by
know that you
dancing, I
get
mean,
any
Dancing
pri-
with
dancing,
yourself,
I mean, what
Yeah,
I'd be,
you'd have
that's what
no-
I'd be doing if I'm on the island there.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
where? You'd have no privacy. There's a camera following you everywhere.
Where's guys?
That's
He was
weird.
for Idol. He's
And
doing
those
something on
creepos
his
are gonna
idol. Anyway,
sell that. Come on.
talk
Although
about rubbing
Ozzy
your
already has those
diamond. Wow.
videos, so whatever.
I'm glad someone appreciates.
All
it.
right, let's move on to our
Can we
next.
get to the cut? Can we get to the cut list
our
now?
next
Okay.
drop.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do
All right.
it.
So now we get to the very first cut, who only spent 3 measly days there on the Scylla tribe. She was ousted with a landslide of 7 votes. She appeared originally on season 1 and then later on the 8th season, that was Survivor All-Stars. I'm talking about Jenna. What did we think of Jenna? Time to vote, guys.
It's literally what I think
We're
of
all
Jenna.
down. We're all thumbs
Literally
down.
every time she plays. I mean,
she
she's
went
fine.
too hard, too quick.
She's just not. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Jenna was
She's
someone,
not growing her game.
Jenna was someone I was in favor of them bringing back compared to some of the other alternatives, but focusing
from-
on Miss Fields from the get-go and making it known that was happening.
You don't
Yeah,
do
her
it.
time was
And of
Yeah.
all the people from season 1, she might have been the only one who was willing to come back or could come back, So it was nice, nice to have some,
being alive, not being in jail.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
things like
it's-
that.
All of these
So I
things
was
are
glad
helpful.
to see, season 1 represented, but that's done now.
Alrighty then, so we can move on to next. After only 4 days, the poor fellow was medivac off the Vatu tribe with a ruptured Achilles. He was the winner of season 48. Of course, I'm talking about Kyle. This feels kind of unfair, but I mean,
I don't even care. He had a good game. He was, but in this pool, I'm sorry. Chaos.
I think
Monster's
that he
gonna
would
have
have
to-
done really well.
I
can't
don't
vote
think it's
no for
fair.
a
I don't think
physical
it's fair to
injury.
vote on somebody's performance when they rupture an Achilles or
Yeah,
medevac
that's
at the
why I
beginning
felt-
of the game.
I'm just going off of based off of who was there at the end of this season. Kyle would have been sitting pretty.
I think he was
I'm
well
just saying
positioned
those
at that
those were
point.
all his people.
I think he was well positioned at this point in the game, and perhaps if he had remained in the game, it might have had a very different impact moving forward. And someone like that in the mix changes things, and we might not, and something like that would also mean we might not have the same final three at the end of
That's
this.
right.
And I'm not referring to him being
Yeah.
there either, because
No.
quite frankly, I think anyone who's a winner is not making the final three no matter what.
No.
But yeah, he wasn't someone I wanted to bring back because of how late it was in the seasons, and
Yeah, how
also,
recent.
I also am anti bringing winners back. I would have rather Sol Yi than him, but I felt bad for him regardless. It was horrible. Okay,
I personally I just love Kyle. I was happy to see him back. It sucks that he went out on an injury, but like in a cast
It's
that
fine.
is like 50% sourpusses, it was nice to see someone who would have been having as much fun as some of our favorites out there.
Yeah, he was making really good connections. He looked like he was there to play again. It would have been nice to see what could have happened. Okay, so we move on to the next. Oh, another landslide vote over at Scylla. 6 votes on day 6 to remove. Hey, look at that. Another winner goes bye-bye. That means Savannah from season 49.
Well, that's not a hard vote.
David didn't
Everyone's
get the
voting
picture up.
except for David because he doesn't have the picture up, but
He
it's
did,
okay.
and he didn't put the picture up either. We don't even show Savannah.
It doesn't matter because we all
She
know
does
the
not
answer to
exist
that
in
one.
this dojo. Sorry.
I'm literally okay with it, guys.
I'm not even clear if David can hear us right now.
Did it happen, David? Did it happen?
I think it's 90 seconds in the past, David. All right. So at this point, we ended up being down to 21 people in the game. That is when there was a tribal swap, a reshuffling of the deck for the remaining 21 players, which meant at this point the Scylla tribe now consisted of the Riz God, D, Mrs. Fields, Camilla, Rick Devens, Charlie, and Jonathan. The new version of Vatu is now Mike White, Stephanie, Angelina, Q, Christian, Ozzy, and Emily. And the new Kahlo tribe was Aubrey, Colby. Look at that, beat all these words. Aubrey, Colby, Coach, Chrissy, Tiffany. Too many names, I think, and why. Genevieve and Joe. So, next on day 8, this new Vatu tribe loses someone the more traditional way this time. So the person who was knocked out with 5 of 6 possible votes would be Q, who we remember from season 46.
This is a hard vote.
I am such a hater. I'm just like, I don't care. Again,
I don't love him. Don't love him.
I liked
Sorry,
him the
guys.
first time he played.
he was fine the first time, but it's over. He's not that dynamic.
Okay.
It's gonna be so
You guys
easy to
all
say
want him
why.
out. I don't. The format of this is I'm defending my vote.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta
needed to
defend
be
your
there.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey,
how's
hey,
it going?
Now, hold your thought on there for just a second, Brian. Everybody, this is Colleen from the Jay and Jack podcast feed. You can go to the whole Colada if you want to. She's joining us for a moment. Say hey, Colleen.
Hey, Colleen.
There it is.
That works.
Okay,
That works.
quick rundown of
And she
what's
kind of
happening.
got
We're
here
going
right at the
through
perfect
boot-
time, considering who
Oh,
the next
good.
one is.
Because I don't have a whole lot of time. I have
Okay.
so
You're
much
good.
work to do. I like.
We are
Yeah,
going
who
through
wants to
the
do work, right? This is more fun.
we're going through the boot order, and we're
Okay.
giving a thumbs up. We're giving a thumbs up or a thumb down when we are queued to vote. If you are the only thumb that does not match everybody else, you have to defend your thumb. And right now, Brian is defending his thumb because on the tally of the votes, he was the only thumbs up for Q.
Okay.
All right,
so
Brian.
here's my defense of Q.
Go
If
ahead.
Q had stayed in, he was the person early in this game that said, we need to get rid of Aubrey. She's really dangerous. And you know what? Aubrey won the damn game.
He was right.
He- and-
He was
and-
right the whole time.
He was right. And he also was somebody that was working with a few different people. The problem is he got focused. He pulled something we're going to hear about in a minute, a tunnel vision, and that took him out. But I think had he not focused on her, I think he was in a good position and going to play a good game. And I would have loved to have seen him and Aubrey go head to head, because he changes the dynamic, because she doesn't get a target off her back no matter what if he stays in the game.
And the reason I'm
Yeah,
going to go
okay,
thumbs
you know,
down on him, he had a week, and he didn't even mention Aubrey, at least not on camera for us. Meanwhile, before
It
that,
wasn't
he
as
was all
exciting as we had hoped.
anti-Aubrey.
Yeah. Now I have heard, maybe Colleen, you may have heard this too, that Aubrey was originally cut from being on the 50, but when
She
they
said that
had
in
it
her exit
confirmed
interview.
Q was going to be, yeah, they came back and they got Aubrey and brought her in. They were really hoping
Interesting.
for some big dynamic there too.
Hmm.
He was the Survivor player version of the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol. All that potential and it went nowhere.
No, he was supposed to be her Debbie. He was supposed to be her Debbie.
Her nemesis.
Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, another player got tunnel vision and screwed herself with that one. So we should move on now. We move on
We'll
to
move
day
on
9.
to the next.
I don't know if we're going to vote on this or not, though I would like us to, because on day 9, that was right after we were done with the Zach Brown appearance. Hey, are we voting on the Zach Brown thing as a twist for this?
Boo.
I'm ready.
I like Zach Brown in.
I think it's unanimous.
Yeah, we don't.
And
we
you're
can just
still
keep-
thumbs down. All right.
No.
If only we had spent another half an hour with him.
Listen, they just did it wrong. They just
And I
did it
love
wrong.
how they were all acting like they were excited and they were not.
Oh, Tiffany's expression during it was amazing.
The best.
Anyway,
The best
an
part of it.
original
Wait, because wasn't it? Didn't that whole thing just feel like they were doing their reward and he like crashed it, like crashed the party? That's what it felt like. Some one of these things does not.
He's like,
belong.
hey guys, it just happened to bring this fish and my guitar to your party.
Yeah, it's like
What
they could
do
have
you
given
do?
they could have
my,
given
my
just
body
wrote-
double.
they could have given Coach the flute from like Kill Bill, and that probably would have been more entertaining. Actually,
It'd been the trumpet.
Oh, that would have been pretty
His
fun.
haikus might have actually been
Yeah, his
more
trumpet.
crazy, in the craziest way, been more entertaining. But
Okay.
Give him a beat
For
poet
those who don't know and
hour.
don't follow
All
the
right.
podcast, I'll just throw in real quickly. Coach said his best day on Survivor was the Zach Brown
Nope.
reward.
oh god, yeah,
Yeah.
that
He
tracks.
did.
that tracks.
That's
mean,
my
I'm with
face.
that.
That tracks. That's Coach.
He also
Nothing-
thought that the Jack and Jill was like the best movie ever. So I guess that tracks.
And he wrote a ballet, and he was like, okay, cool.
That,
I'm
no,
sure
he
it's
wrote a ballet.
amazing.
He's a man of
He wrote a
many
ballet, and
talents. Mhm.
Mike White wrote White Lotus 4. So I guess
Exactly. You
brings
see,
out the creativity in everyone.
Yeah.
And there
Like,
we
I-
are.
There's so much
Perfect
talent
segue.
in this cast.
Hopefully. So after that, mind-blowing Zach Brown appearance, we did get in that final half hour of that episode, what rescued the episode itself. An original Kalo member met his end on the Vatu tribe. With the closest vote as of yet for the season, out with just 3 votes, it was Mike White, who we remembered from the David versus Goliath season 39. Time to vote, guys. Oh, time to vote, period. We don't say guys on Survivor.
So wait, yes, he should have gone home, or no, he shouldn't have?
No,
Thumbs up or thumbs
you
down?
like how he
He-
played,
he-
or you don't
he-
like how he played.
Oh,
You like or you don't like?
meh.
like
barely saw him
not
play.
his best show. Yeah, I mean, he was kind of like, did he need to? Did he care?
We're split. We have a split decision here. Like,
Oh,
It was like a 3-2 split, wasn't it?
Ooh, exciting.
That well, there's
Yeah.
5 of
And-
us.
and-
So
well, there was a
That's
non.
appropriate.
There was a
That
non,
would
there
be
was
really weird.
no. There was a non-vote because Colleen didn't vote.
no, I said
Oh,
thumbs
she was
down.
a down.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I was a thumbs down.
She blended
Yeah.
in.
All right. I think that, as Colleen has said earlier in the season, that what Mike was missing was a glass of wine, and if he had had that, he would have been there long.
He
And it
just
didn't look funny.
okay. You know what? What bothered me about him was he was asked back. He's on the 50th. Most everyone looked excited. He just looked perpetually bothered by everything. You know what I mean?
This is not as comfortable
me laugh.
as my bed.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna politely disagree with that. He actually seemed like he was jazzed to be there. He was
agree.
He was as buff as anyone else, as any of the man.
He did
child
get
that were
kind
there.
of jacked for a little Mike White body,
And
right?
the reason why it rescued that episode, even that last half hour with him, was more entertaining than anything than the previous cuts had given us. It's just, the tables got turned on him. But I was someone who was against him being brought back in the first place. And by the time he left, I was happy they brought him back. So that's why I'm giving the guy.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't
Yeah, I think
upset that he was
I feel
back,
very similar, Scott. Very well said.
but I wasn't
Okay.
happy. I was okay. He went when he went.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's people
That's-
on that beach.
Me
always
too,
prefer
because
Cook on.
Christian's ass was going to be in trouble.
Exactly.
True,
Because it saved
true.
Christian. So
Right.
that's the most important thing.
We'll get there.
Yep.
So next, the first of two to bite the dust on day 11. We're going to stay with Vatu for an original Vatu player who gets her ticket punched with 4 votes. That would be Angelina, also from the David versus Goliath, season 37. Time to vote.
She's just a warm body there, honestly.
Yeah, we
She
didn't
was
get to
just a-
see anything from her.
She was just a vote to pull.
Yeah.
Supplied nothing.
She sure is pretty,
Yeah.
though.
The best thing she did was make a reference to the "Do you want my jacket or coat" thing on her way out. So that was-
You know what? That was
That was
good.
about
Bless
That
her
was
for
her-
that.
Was her best thing. Yeah.
it. Oy. But now the next one. Oof. Also on day 11, original Kahlo member who was dealt to the Scylla tribe. 4 votes took him out. An odd voting block of Mrs. Fields, Dee, Rizzo, and Camilla. They were the ones to boot out Charlie, who we remembered from season 46.
Charlie.
This is the first one that hurt. This is the first one that hurt.
Okay. He played poorly.
It
He got
makes
in his
me
head.
so sad. I love
But
him
I
so
love
much, but I
him,
can't.
yeah.
I'm giving a thumbs
Oh.
up
I love
because
you.
Colleen's got a defender. Thumbs up.
Oh,
because I want to. Yes, I want to say something about Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Do it.
Charlie ultimately was justified because at the end of the day, Rizzo did not vote for his number 1.
correct. No, that's correct.
That's true.
So I do
Vindication.
think that Charlie was onto something there. I think he was a victim of the storytelling because there had to have been so much more to Charlie's game than what we saw, but because
Yeah.
it directly started like the week before he went home, that was what we were seeing. And I feel bad for Charlie, but judging by all the videos that they've posted on social media, I think they're probably fine with each other now. But
They're okay.
I would like justice for Charlie because I think that he was better than what we saw.
Was he the
Yeah,
first
okay.
person that
I agree.
that went home that was like a little bit like who was because there were quite a few people who exited this season that afterwards were like spicy about the show. Was he
Yep.
the first one that was a
Yeah.
little spicy?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
No, wait,
Savannah
no. Yeah,
Oh,
Savannah.
wow.
Yeah.
Savannah was
Yeah, but how do
spicy.
you tell when isn't
Yeah,
she
she
always spicy?
How do you
Because in
know?
exit interviews,
Like,
interviews, she and Angelina in the pre press, they were coming hard for Christian. And
That's
like
right.
they started that shit in the preseason press, and then they kept it up, making like comments every week where you're like, oh, these two people are very obviously pre-jury because they just have like eye of a sore loser vibe.
Yeah.
And I like Angelina. I liked her the first time around, but I think don't go back and listen to podcasts and tell me that I hated her because I liked her in retrospect.
I like liking her. Yeah.
But
All right,
like
who's next,
no, Charlie wasn't the first salty one, and I'm gonna leave at the merge because I've got work to do. I'm panicking because it's after 10. But so I'm here for a few more people,
Cool.
and then maybe I'll pop back
ju-
on if I finish.
Just to circle back before I move on, as far as and to mildly address something. I understand the situation when the idea of storytelling and that's the whole talk of edits, which I've talked about how much I hate talking about edits more than anything else that's Survivor related. I get that, but I can only go by and talk about what I actually see, not what I can assume or hope or imagine. And Charlie was the first of the people that Brian was talking about before, or not the first, but the most more extreme. Tunnel vision, lost your focus. You made it all about this, and having the trauma of the Maria stuff from before, which we thought you kept saying you were okay with now, Charlie, and apparently you're not, because you went by something that Rizzo said, which, by the way, was never correct. What Rizzo said was never actually accurate in the first place. I bet when Charlie saw season 49, he went, well, that's not what he did.
Yeah, I threw my game away for that.
So
Oh, I bet Charlie did. I guarantee
He went,
Charlie
"Son of
didn't
a
even
bitch."
watch. He didn't even watch 49.
Sophie
I bet
was
he
not
asked.
his number one.
I bet you he asked Savannah. I bet you he asked Savannah at the pre-jury at Ponderosa, and that's how he found out about it. I bet you he hasn't even seen 49.
You're probably right.
But sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Something about Charlie. Oh, we're going to get a confessional a la Christian Hubicki's crying about Gabby from Charlie at the next show he returns to. He's going to just start randomly crying in confessional.
It'll be his
Maria.
his open wound. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Charlie. I hope he comes back. He's young enough that I think we can see him back again.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll get
Survivor.
it better.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I-
Survivor open wounds season, and it's a mixture of emotional open wounds and actual gaping open wounds because Bruce comes back for a third time.
Oh my God.
I feel like Charlie is a better player than he showed this season.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
So I
where
did.
I'm
I
at.
love him. Didn't like his game this season. He just,
Yeah.
And to be clear,
It wasn't-
I say
There
this
you
as
go.
someone who on both of
And
the
he's not alone in that.
on both
Sorry.
preview podcasts, I had Charlie in my final three before the season started. So obviously, I was crushingly
Mhm.
disappointed by how
Yeah.
he performed.
Yeah.
He did himself.
Yeah.
He's one of the players who did
same
himself in.
seas.
Okay, so next we hit day 13, and then we enter what I would call the unfortunate Survivor 50 phase, to forever be known as the Blood Moon merge.
Ugh.
A twist that was perhaps the most controversial of the game, the multiple moving parts, merging everyone and splitting everybody into groups of 5, the Exile Island thing, whatever. Okay, we all know what it was. How did we feel about the Blood Moon twist situation?
I hated it.
Me too.
Hated it.
oh,
Despised it.
oh, sorry.
We can do it that way. Oh,
All right.
look at what do you know?
Oh,
right.
David.
All right,
Control.
white
Defend
man,
it,
defend your
David.
vote.
You know what?
Well, his vote's the only one that matters.
Expect
so.
the unexpected. Survivor through chaos at veteran players that had never been done before, and I loved it for that. I just thought it was good.
Okay.
Did he just
It was
say something
compelling
about
TV.
American
It was
Survivor
the best
good?
episode of the season.
He did.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
I feel like we just say this.
It was a breakthrough,
American
David. It was a
Survivor
breakthrough.
Hey, wait. For the record, we are 33 minutes and 35 seconds in, and I've not said a negative word about Jeff. I want to point that out.
Okay, I'm
right.
very proud of you. Let's keep it going.
But
I'm sad that I'm
yeah.
going to miss at the end of this when you talk about how Jeff said there's no more villains because he doesn't want assholes on Survivor anymore.
He said that 2 years ago.
Oh, we started.
We
started
started
with
with
that.
I brought
Oh,
that
fun.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
I asked her, is that a new clip? Because I thought he said that like 2 years ago.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sorry.
so
brought that right in the front gate.
Oops.
on
Another
to
open wound.
onto the bloodletting. The first victim of this triple elimination night. She went from Kalo to Scylla to Sia. She was done in by a certain infamous alliance. Jonathan, Stephanie, Chrissy. Imagine that. The silly bullshit part was Jonathan acting like he had to choose which duo he was voting with and based his vote on revenge for blindsiding Charlie. No, it wasn't, liar. Please stop. I'm talking about Camilla, who we remember from season 48. I don't know how to read. Well, that's a tough
We
one.
didn't get to
giving her
see
a
her
thumbs
play.
up.
I can't give
Yeah.
her a thumbs up. I
Yeah,
didn't see
I'm
her
giving
game.
her-
See,
those-
I feel like she was already scrambling. Like she didn't go down fighting. I mean, she didn't just lay down. She tried
I'm
to
gonna,
pitch her stuff and tried to save herself.
you
she's-
know what? I agree. I we didn't get to see enough of her game. I actually like the fact that with Kyle's unfortunate departure, that actually might have opened up her game for her. Her alliances were tentative. It's not really her fault in that situation.
I was more excited to see her come back than Kyle. And yes, when Kyle left, I
me
thought,
too.
oh, this is going to help
Mhm.
her.
Yes.
Hopefully this helps her because I didn't want her to get pigeonholed.
However,
And then when she knew she was in danger, man, she was like,
She tried.
so yes, she
Tried,
did.
yeah.
And that's something.
However,
She
'cause
can cry.
I look at
But
my old
her
notes when I'm going through
spicy.
this. I would have rather Omar been in that spot than Camilla. Just saying. All right.
I really
I
sad we
like
didn't
Omar
have
too,
Omar,
yeah.
but I will say that of all of the spicy postseason interviews, hers are my favorite.
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
Yeah, 'cause
She's
then
like, you know what?
so
I'm never
like,
coming back. I'm just gonna let
never
it
coming
burn,
back.
which is why I loved her to begin with. So
All right. So next on Bloody Mooney night, talk about tunnel vision. Another early preseason favorite who was originally Vatu but met her end with Kahlo. I think it was also the first attempt this season for someone to use their shot in the dark. She met her end in a unique voting combo of Aubrey, Rick, Christian, and Joe. Genevieve from season 47. Time to vote.
she's playing. She's doing what she could do.
I mean, okay, I'll go with the ladies.
Okay.
Yeah.
She got swap
no, I
blocked,
think
and
she-
she
I
didn't
think
have
an
a
even split.
choice. She didn't have a chance. She was well positioned. She like beforehand, she was well positioned. She had the respect. She had old school and new school players that both wanted to work with her. She was doing really well. Aubrey probably would have gone home if not for this twist at some point. Like she just got unlucky with the rock.
She got
draw.
so
Yep.
unlucky with
And
where she
that's-
was at.
that's
It was
it.
a bad exit.
But hang
There's
on.
nowhere to hide
If
with 5 people.
I agree, but you can't crap on Camilla's game and say she sucked. But
I didn't say she
fell
sucked.
victim of that. She fell victim of that. I'm not saying you.
She
I'm
did
just
too,
saying
yeah.
we split
she
the vote
did.
on that. Like had Camilla not been on that tribe, she probably would have survived. Like whoever went, the way this broke down was unfortunate.
She
The problem
really,
with
she really
Genevieve
got
is
thrown
she
into
played
a
less than
really
she did
crappy
last time.
pile.
Yeah,
I thought she
didn't
played
get
a lesser game than she did last time.
She had a quiet pre-merge last
Who
time
did
though. She played with
Was
Rome,
she with
remember?
Rome? Is that who she was? She with Rome?
was with
her
Rome.
first season. Is that her
Yep.
alliance? So
Mhm.
she had somebody who was very like out and loud and in front of everything.
Right.
And I think that she was like having to find her own footing in this season without having that player in front of her. And maybe she wasn't as stealthy because of that. But I mean, she's not my favorite player of the season, but I do think I think she would have gone at least 4 more rounds if she hadn't just been in the
Mhm.
really unlucky position.
And I'm going
she
to tell you
was at.
right now, I so wanted her and Aubrey to make a nerdy girl alliance.
Mhm.
Why did that not
Yeah,
happen?
me
Okay,
too.
well, I'm gonna
It
come
was
in. I got all right. So I got to come in hard on this one. Sorry.
Wow.
Genevieve was one of my preseason favorites. I really
Shut
was
up,
looking
David.
forward to her. And after
Damn
Charlie,
you, David.
other than Charlie, I found her to be one of the biggest disappointments of the season overall. She fell victim to. I noticed almost every player who did this, and she was the queen of them, quite frankly. She became focused on
She
one
did get the
player and one player
paranoia.
only to go after, and then lost sight of her game, and then bye. I was very disappointed by Genevieve's performance. Yeah, that one.
Because she did get tunnel vision on Aubrey. Do you think that she felt like maybe
She's
like
still
that
not talking to Aubrey.
Aubrey's archetype?
So dumb.
Yeah.
Did you see
So
that?
so
still
did
not
she
talking
feel
to
like
her?
maybe that archetype that there was only room for one person?
There's
in
only
that?
room for one. Was this Highlander? No.
You
come
could
on.
only have one Aubrey.
If
and
that's how-
in this
yeah,
case, it
it's-
was the Aubrey.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
Aubrey
that's a
was
Join
bummer. I
Aubrey
would have
or-
really liked to see that alliance.
Aubrey's
I do
talked
too.
about her afterwards and said that she even tried to approach her at the finale, and Genevieve it's not even talking to her. There is
Okay,
more
well-
tension between everyone after this than I've ever seen on a season of Survivor. It's actually kind of cool. All right.
It is.
So
There's a
there's
lot of it. But she
spin-off
did leave a
reality show
very
gonna
she
happen.
she did leave her very lovely jacket behind, which was very kind of her. I mean, like she needs it. She's going to have a nice, warm, comfy bed, but they don't all do that. So it was nice of her to do that. And while we ponder that for just a second, we're going to take a quick commercial break. 5 seconds. We'll be right back. Okay. We are back, and Scott is going to jump into the next the next one booted.
We get to the last player to meet their end on the night of the blood moon. A unanimous vote and possibly the first quote unquote honorable exit of the game. We're talking about Mr. Colby, who we know from season 2 Australia, and then season 8 All Stars, and even the 20th season Heroes versus Villains. Time to vote.
See, he's difficult
Sure.
because he's always been this, or his first real season. Other seasons have been like this. But I feel like this was his redemption season. He was better again. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
there's Colby.
I thought this was the most likable he's been since his very first season.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remembered all his successive appearances were more and more like, oh, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
And I think he had a couple nice moments. I liked his Rizzo interactions early in the season
He
where
did.
first he hated him, then he realized, oh, he's like my son, kind of a thing. I kind of was enjoying a lot of that.
He saved Rizzo's game early in the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was a nice departure. I
Come
thought.
on, guys, let this little guy into our gang.
They really did give him a nice send off. It gave him probably the best send off of the season, like better than Coaches, definitely better than Cerise, which was just like copy and paste of her Game Changers exit. Like they really gave Colby something nice. But considering
It
like
was
Jeff had
nice.
like a man crush on him for like decades, it makes
Oh, yeah.
sense.
They were like buddy at the beginning.
Come here and rub some lotion on me,
Yes.
Donaldson.
Exactly.
That was like wasn't that his original first friend on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was his first
Yeah.
Mike White.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
that
Because
really
Colby
does
got
make me.
Remember he got
Yeah.
the archery show and everything? Like he was like his little protege.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yep. The archery show. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
now.
We're gonna YouTube that later.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, everybody. I have to go because I really do have a lot of work to do and I'm starting to panic a little bit. So I will see you all
Okay.
See
next
ya.
time.
Colleen, we appreciate you joining in. Thanks for all your Survivor coverage.
Wait, you're
over
not
the
giving
years
me a
and
Colby
just a
send
little bit
off?
of advice.
Oh wait.
Wait, time to vote, guys.
Look at the stars.
I mean,
New brief and appearance. I don't know
But I
what
mean-
is this.
The big question is, will Colleen ever come back to the podcast, or is this the last one? Is she hanging up the mic?
is she going to? She's going to burn it to the ground.
No, you'll have to find out tomorrow
She's gonna
during my
burn
exit
it.
press. That's
She'll be
right. I'm
talking
gonna look at
she'll
the
be talking to
stars.
Gail tomorrow.
Exactly.
But look at the stars, Colleen.
The
And
stars.
just a little bit of advice.
Yeah.
Advice. Just go set your clock like 15 minutes backwards. It's like time traveling.
Okay, we'll do that.
Use that.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there's our first medevac. Who's next?
If I keep coughing, it's going to be me.
Just aim it over there.
I know. Maybe at the beach. So
There you go.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Christy.
Make Brian
Right.
catch it.
Colby's also one of the people that I didn't want to be brought back to the game. I had Alicia Calloway,
Because
but,
right,
but I-
because
but-
his
but
other
I
ones
like-
have been so bad,
but I
right?
like, yeah, that's why I give him
Yeah.
a thumbs up because
Like he had his chance now.
He's one of the people who like, oh, I liked you a lot more in the game than I
Yeah.
was expecting to. Okay, so now we move
I
on.
do too. Now let me ask you a quick question before you move on though, because I haven't seen anything, so I guess we're making an assumption. Was Colby a part of that Zoom alliance?
No.
Was okay. Liked him even more.
But they
Extra thumbs
but
up.
they like pulled him into it, right?
It seemed like
He
well, they
got
just
pulled
because
in-
it
he
was
got pulled
naturally
into the-
divided old school.
It became more of the more like the old bros kind of thing on the island, but he wasn't part of the Zoom alliance. No.
Okay,
Not that I've-
good.
not that I've
Okay.
heard. He wasn't, and Joe
Thanks, Colby.
wasn't. They those are
But
people-
if you're
they were
talking
people they
about
might have targeted to bring in.
if you're talking about honorable
Right.
players, I enjoy Colby way more than Joe.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Colby's appearance on Curb Your Enthusiasm already trumps all the other people.
Oh, that's right.
I just watched that clip yesterday, and I was like going, "Oh, I forgot how much he really went for it on it. It's really good." Alrighty, back to the game. On day 15, we got merging happening, and the first jury member. She simply couldn't recover from one alliance going gung-ho after her and a certain loose-lipped player blabbing that Dee had spilt the beans about Rizzo's immunity idol. She saw the writing on the parchment wall, intended to use her shot in the dark to no avail, and she got clobbered with 8 votes. The only winner to make the merge was Dee from season 45. Yeah.
Thumbs down for me. Thumbs down for everybody. I'm not discrediting Dee as being one of the best players of the new era. She's just not one of the best players of the entire genre.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have to say about her.
Well, I think that typifies how bad the new era is.
Well, we
Yeah,
liked her
I
her
don't-
season, but she had the guy what was the guy's name that she had allied with? That went to
Don't ask
and then
me
it was
that right
like,
now.
do you know what I mean? And then it was like she had played him the whole time. You're like, oh, you're
I didn't
not
like
nice.
that.
Oh,
That
that
You're
guy,
felt
the good-looking
You're
guy.
not as
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
of a person. You acted
Austin.
like you acted like you were really okay.
I think
Yeah.
she lost me when she was so upset about Zach Brown.
Also, like
That was not good for her.
No. It was the way she had talked about. He changed my life. No, he didn't. Come on. Survivor
He's
changed
about
your
to
life.
change your
Let's-
life again.
Yeah, get your head in the game. God.
She's a formidable player, but she got moving a little aggressively at the part she was in, and loose lipped herself into a bad place and took herself out. So, I mean,
She
you
let
can see
that
she has
big-
skills.
She let that big dumb beach bum get underneath her skin, and that's where she lost her game. That's it.
And we have that in common with her.
Yes.
Wait, who
Indeed.
she went home? Why?
All right.
Who got under her skin?
Oh, no.
Jonathan.
John.
Oh, yes. I got it. Yes.
She was prettier than I remembered, though.
All right.
Anyway, so next on day 6.
She is gorgeous. Shut
Yeah, I
up.
was like,
She is gorgeous.
I just said it. Hey, if
She-
it wasn't for the I didn't
her
even say what I
smile
want to
is
say because it's not my
brilliant.
podcast. But if it was my podcast, I'd be saying, oh, well, then the other one would be yelling at me. Anyway, day 16. There would be boob comments. Anyway, on day 16, the Merge tribe gets hit with another twist after a challenge. This was a challenge where everyone had to be in duos for the challenge. And the twist was they would have to remain in those duos for the vote. Not in terms of voting together, but being voted out. So we can call this the double duo twist of the game. How do we feel about this one?
I think this was the worst one.
Kind of okay with that one.
Really? Okay. I mean, the
Oh,
outcome was
Chrissy's
good.
alone.
Okay,
Really?
the outcome was good, but the idea that you could pick someone because you trust them to run the thing with and not know that if you go, I go, like that's for some people, that's just too much. Yeah.
Too stressful, too much.
No,
Too-
but,
too
but,
much.
but your
Too much power.
fate's
Well,
in your
I
own
don't get-
hands.
What is it? What is it? I don't know
That's
what
true.
it's your. See, it sounds like the thing that you were trying not to say is you were upset that you picked someone to play a challenge with without knowing that it might mean a lot more to you than that, and thus it makes it too random. But it's not random. You've chosen the thing, and the twist is you didn't know this going into it.
Yeah.
That's what makes a twist is that you don't know it until it happens.
So it's the not knowing it part,
It's the not knowing it ahead of time.
right? Because it's not a.
That's the
Because-
essence of the twist.
That's
Because
the
here's the
part,
thing.
okay. Because that's.
But here's the thing. Picking a partner so that you can win a challenge, so that whatever, is a different pick than you're going to pick this person because. Do you know what I mean?
Of
Totally
course, you're
different.
correct,
Ask
which is
Chrissy.
why it's a twist.
Why it's a twist?
All right, I didn't like it. I don't. It can mess up someone's game too badly.
So when you watch the
Even
Survivor
though it worked in our
Australia and
favor, yeah.
when you watch Survivor Australia and they're at Tribal and then they suddenly do another immunity challenge there, which is an unexpected twist that puts someone at risk.
That's
again.
okay because
So
you
that-
again, it's in just solely your hands.
But you didn't
In
know
your
it when you went
hands.
there.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I
I
get what you're
totally
saying.
get what you're saying though,
I
because
get what
it's
you're
in
saying.
your
You're
control.
you're
It's in your
wrong, but I get
hands.
what you're saying. Okay.
Scott,
fine.
tell us how you really feel.
It's not the first time you've been wrong with me.
It worked out really well because the
Chrissy,
people that went home were perfect.
There you go. And here's the thing. I really did like the challenge. I think, yes, it is a twist. It's high risk, high stakes.
But what if it?
Would I
But
feel
what if
the
it had
same?
been
I'll
like?
be realistic. Would I feel the same if it was two people I liked? I'm going to be fair and say I don't know if I would have liked it as much.
Like Suri,
Might
this
not have. There
challenge
might
was
have
the
been
one that was
bias
like,
to it,
I'm
so.
sitting out, and that was smart.
Well,
But also,
isn't
if
that
it had been-
Cherie any challenge she can sit out?
It's usually her best place.
well, and she realized that person would probably have immunity, so good for her. But like, let's say she had to play it, and she was like, and Ozzy was like, "I got you, Suri, I got you," and the two of them had gone together, not knowing he's just trying to keep them safe, right? And then they're this ginormous target, and they both get voted out. I'd have been so
But here's
pissed.
the fault in your example. After the
Yeah.
challenge, they still had a chance to work on votes. Suri and
sure,
Ozzy
yes.
probably still survive because
That
Suri
you're okay. That's fair
fixes
enough.
the votes.
Yeah,
But
Like
I would've-
there's two parts to it.
But I
yeah,
would have been pooping my pants waiting for what was going to
right. I'm
happen.
not as much as what's going to happen later on, and when we get a few several days later. I'm not going to. I'm cursing it. I'm
To
sorry.
be
I'm
fair,
not going to shit on a
It's fine.
twist because there's a what if possibility that it could have went horribly wrong. Of course, there
it might
is that
have.
possibility.
To
A
be
coin
fair, though,
a coin
Chrissy,
flip could have went a different direction, and then some of us wouldn't have loved that night as much as we did, and then maybe we wouldn't have liked that twist as much as some of us did.
yes,
So it's the same-
but
the same kind of thing.
also to just to be fair, if Ozzy and Suri
be
were in that same
fair.
position, it probably would have been a more honorable exit for Ozzy than doing the same thing he did.
Oh,
20
That's
years
true.
ago.
That's true.
So,
We'll be
there
piling
is
on him
that.
later. All right. So
We
getting
would
to
have
that
been
actual tribal.
Sad he was gone.
So we gotta do them one at a time here.
But
So
not
first we have
embarrassed for it.
we have an original column member who met her end when she was almost literally joined at the hip of the fellow column member. Let's face it, we all knew they were part of the Zoom Alliance. But after one of the wildest and most memorable tribals, 10 votes spelled doom for both of them. But first we're starting with Chrissy Hofbeck, who we remember from season 35, a controversial second place loss in that season.
Is it? I don't even really remember
No
her first
surprises
season
there.
that
Thumbs
much.
down.
And she didn't impress me
Her-
to make me remember
Her
her.
game dropped off immensely from the first time she played.
I think that's right.
And now,
She aligned with the wrong people. This is where having the pre-alliance is stupid because you locked in with these people. And if she wouldn't have done that, if she would have gone in organically and formed relationships, she would have lasted far longer than being stuck with those guys. That's where pre-alliances are bad for some
maybe.
people.
Yeah, but there was nothing to make them stick
I
with
think
that
she could have gotten
alliance.
in with the
Yeah,
girls.
yeah, because if someone
I
asks
think
you if you want to be in an alliance, the answer is always yes. So if they
Yep.
had asked her before, we're going to have this alliance, of course she's going to say yes. But then when she gets there and she sees what tribe she's on, she could have pivoted at any point and picked a different alliance, made something else of her game. She chose to stay with that alliance. That
Not
first
when you're
initially
being
asked her.
not when you're being trained by Rob the Sparkle Boston. You do what the boss says, and the boss said you guys work together.
If I don't do what he says, will I get a spanking? No, I would not. I would not do that.
as the person that I
Maybe.
did the Survivor 50
Maybe
podcast.
we have
for
to ask
50
Amber.
As the person who I did the Survivor 50 podcast this season pointed out a number of times, Chrissy tends to just gravitate and stick with the boys. She's not someone who really reaches out to any of the other women on the tribe, or when she does, it's always kind of weakly done. And I think her sticking with that alliance ultimately did her in. And then she was someone that I was thumbs up when they were for bringing her back, and I was consistently kind of just overall just disappointed with her right up until then that final tribal, which we'll get to much later. Blech. But of course, along with Chrissy, those 10 people also voted out one of the more polarizing maybe players of the season, as if we expected anything more or less. Of course, I'm talking about the Dragon Slayer, the Tidewalker, and Brian Sensei. It's Coach. Time to vote. I'm fascinated to see what people are gonna say about Coach. What are we saying? Thumbs up or thumbs down on Coach?
Only because of the pre-alliance.
Oh, it's hard for me.
Just the pre-alliance. If he had gone in there, the pre-alliance, and then the way he stole that thing in the first
Oh,
the first
Oh,
challenge.
I think that was
disagree.
overblown. That was
disagree with
absolutely
that.
fair
Ridiculous.
game.
That was ridiculous. There are like 20 other things you could have said to crap
No,
on
I
his
no,
game.
that was
And the
no,
one
it
thing
was
he did, which
that.
is totally fair, I don't have a
No,
problem.
no. That was the moment where I was like, all right, I'm done with him already. Because he's just too.
But see, he's just such good TV. The
He is.
problem is that the problem that he ran into, and Scott pointed this out on the podcast when we talked about it. There were a couple of times like he lied and somebody asked a follow-up question and he hadn't prepared the follow-up
Right.
answer.
Right.
And the thing I give him
'Cause he's-
credit for, and this is why I give him a thumbs up. I think people liked him because he did sort of take a piss out of himself a little bit, and he was making jokes and not being as self-serious at times. So I think there was a possibility, but if you're caught lying about trying to vote somebody out and you don't have the follow-up answer, that's just bad gameplay.
I just don't think he has any like self-awareness. Like you're saying he took the piss out of himself, but I don't feel that that's who he is. It to me, it always feels like he always thinks like this is who I am, except other people don't see him that way. Like he can't pretend that he's like this honorable knight who always does the right thing, who's like, whatever. And it's like, dude, you're not though. But you're not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think he's a phony. Not
He
as phony
slays
as some.
dragons.
He is no, but he's not a phony. He's a character, and that is good TV. But he's kind of annoying. Did Jeannie drop off?
She'll be right back. She's
Okay.
experiencing minor technical difficulties and
Oh,
will rejoin
no.
shortly.
Well, Coach just had this habit of it was a different version of tunnel vision, whatever. But he kept getting so focused on what people were saying about him, like the whole Ozzy situation, and he wouldn't let things go, and he just made it torturous for everyone else around
Yes.
camp as a result of it. And also,
then-
anyone who preaches all the honor integrity stuff and then clearly shows no,
they're
you
not.
don't have any of that.
Right.
Which, by the way, of all the hypocrisy that we can see on Survivor, the fact that you have people who keep preaching honor and integrity, and then we see by the way they acted or the way they voted, quite frankly,
Mhm.
really, that's if
Exactly.
you're voting your own alliance off. I'm not sure how honorable or how much
Just like
integrity you actually have.
basic thing is like if someone tells you that, if someone has to tell you all the time how honest and integrity, how they are, they're probably not. Like you don't have, the people who have that don't have to tell people that they
That's a
have
fair
that.
point, actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why he's phony. But the
It's like
thing
the
is
But
second
he's-
you say I'm cool, you're not.
It's like,
Or when
Right,
you
someone
give
else can
yourself
tell
a
you you're cool.
nickname that
Right.
says you are the Riz God.
Right.
You are clearly
Are
not
you?
that. You have no
Right.
riz and are not a god.
And ultimately him and Christy together were just too much of a target. Like, oh my God, we get rid of both of these annoying people.
Yeah.
It was,
Yep.
thank you. Right.
It will be interesting in the future when they say pair off and we're going to do a challenge and you don't know what's going to happen. It'll be interesting with this playing in the back of players' minds to see how they'll choose who to do challenges
You
with
bet.
going
true.
forward.
That's absolutely true. Coach was also one of the people that when I did the podcast with you guys a few months before the season started, I had said no. But then in the weeks before on my podcast, he was one of the two people actually switched from no to yes. And now I'm regretting it just a little bit. Although it does make great TV.
He is good.
Okay.
I didn't want to see him at the end.
He
though.
does.
He went,
No.
when he needed to go.
No.
So we push forward
There
to
you
day
go.
18.
I like that. Yeah.
We pushed forward to day 18, and it took just 6 votes to bring an end to one of the more fun players, and the guy who I think was leading the pack in confessionals as well. Sadly, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one here, and I guess we'll vote on this, even though I don't even think we even need to. What I'm going to say, the worst celebrity-related twist of the game. That's right. I'm saying it. I'm tainting the vote here. The Jimmy Fallon won in the urn twist advantage. Did anyone think this was a good advantage before I even say anything else?
This was a shitty advantage.
No.
It was
It was bad,
No.
very, very bad.
awful.
It had a very flawed design to
It was vintage Survivor
He
production.
should not have had to tell them.
Yeah. It was,
And
If he
maybe
did not have to tell them, then it would have been great.
And honestly, I
Yeah,
feel like
I'll
with
go
this
with that.
advantage, I question whether Jimmy Fallon is actually a watcher or fan at all. Like, honestly, dude, are you?
Well, the thing with Fallon, at least he's had. The thing with Fallon, he actually has had Jeff Probst and
He does host
several
a
Survivor
show.
contestants on his
Sure.
show.
Yes.
I don't think he's an
Before this.
obsessed fan. He's
No,
not a Sia. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think it's very interesting that
No.
that a CBS show would reach out to a late night talk show host from another network. as
True.
opposed to
I
their
thought
own.
that too.
But we're not going to go there. Anyway, let's
Yeah,
get back
That's
to the thing.
interesting.
I thought so. Anyway, we had to say live long and prosper to Christian, who we remembered from David versus
Aw.
Goliath. I got a feeling I know what
Christian
the
gets
majority
all my
gonna
thumbs
say.
up. Yeah, he gets them all.
I'm going
He
to
was
give him a
also-
thumbs up. I'm going to give
Good
him
at
a
the
thumbs
game.
up for gameplay, but I don't care for him as a person.
I love him. I thought he was
No, I know
awesome.
that's controversial. I just find him annoying.
Him,
But that's
and
okay. You
Devin-
recognize the game. That's what this
I
is.
recognize. No, he's a good player. I just find him personally annoying.
him and Devins gave me all the joy this season. They were my favorite alliance, and
What
I
a
was so
great
rooting for both
duo.
of them.
But
Just
the best thing for me, the best thing about the first half of the season was the Devon's Christian.
Yeah. They
combination.
need like a Harold and
Yeah.
Kumar movie. They need something like that. They need
When
that.
they describe
Me-
themselves,
Yes.
when they
Thank you.
describe themselves
it.
as Kirk and
Sign me up. I'm
Spock,
buying
it was
tickets.
perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Kirk and
And
Spock.
of course,
I mean,
Christian figured that out. I mean,
Hence
of
all my-
course, Spock figured it.
hence all my Star Trek references, sir.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do
Some of you
Amazing
had to-
Race together.
Come on, needs of the many. Come on.
There it is.
Anyway.
That'd be fun.
Oh boy, here we go. Day 19. Oh, even her own alliance voted against her. Her double vote meant nothing. She received 8 votes, aka a unanimous vote. And unless I'm mistaken, it was the night of Devon's flipping the coin, the Mr. Beast Super Beware Advantage twist. Can we vote on that really quickly now? Yay or nay? I mean, come on, you have to say.
Thumbs up.
And
Fine.
here's the
Good
thing.
twist. That was
Oh, it was the
great.
best
No.
moment of the goddamn season, God. Come on, what are you tweaking?
And
I gave it a thumbs up.
It was so
sheepish,
exciting.
Sheepish, reluctant.
okay, it doesn't matter who was going to flip the coin. Every single person there wanted the coin flipped at the chance to double that pot.
Mhm.
So just at that,
Yep.
if you go out, you flip it and it's wrong, and you're still a hero to all those
And
people
it
because you
had-
tried.
And
You
the
tried.
fact is, it had to be that person flipping the coin.
Correct.
People were saying, most of the people, except for the people who really wanted him out, everyone was saying, well, it's got to be him. So, oh, no.
I loved it.
You're going to love my note, God. So you have that twist, which of course saved that guy. You put that all together, you end up with what might have been not just the greatest tribal of the season. It's in the running for almost any season. I'm not sure. But of course, the person who left was
It was really exciting.
Stephanie. Let us vote
Ew,
on
gross.
Stephanie. Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Next.
That
We
moment
should
when they
not say
flipped the
anything else
coin,
about her.
it was so I don't remember a more tense moment. I was like, it was
Watching that coin roll.
Australia tense, right? Like of
Yeah,
years
yeah.
past, maybe not this most recent, but I was off the couch for that. And that doesn't always happen in these last new Survivor.
Yeah, and the
That's
Yes.
the
guest,
Or
most
whatever.
exciting. That's the most exciting thing in reality TV. Since a certain tall cowboy got voted off Big Brother, and we all were screaming and yelling and jumping up and down.
That's
That
true.
this was the most exciting
Yep.
thing since that.
Since last summer.
Yes.
Was that
yes, since
that
last
the-
summer.
I'm trying to remember now because I haven't not looking further into my notes. Was that the last of the celebrity related twistings that were added into the
Yes.
game?
Yes, and the best one because you
Except
wanna
for
know what?
the
He stopped by.
Is there one we
He
haven't
said,
gotten
"Hey,
to
what's
yet?
up?" Threw some cash.
the Sia money,
That's it.
no?
But that's post game.
Well, that's not a twist.
Oh, okay.
but yeah.
Then there no, it's not. But
They brought back the
Okay.
Sia doing a thing. That's not a
Yeah.
Christy, we're gonna send you to
Yep.
twist
Last
class.
one.
Please.
I know. I'm just saying, he said it was the last of the celebrity, and I thought he meant like celebrity
Christy, you're-
input into the
Yeah.
game.
You're becoming the Charlie of this podcast, Christy. I swear to God.
Jesus
Anyway.
Christ.
You used to be my favorite. Now you're just disappointing me, right? and left.
Listen, do not pretend to be honorable with me, sir.
I'm Scott. I'm Scott. I
There's
don't
no
pretend to be
damn
honorable with
integrity in
nobody.
tally the votes.
Anyway, next on day 21. Ooh, another twisty advantage hits the tribe. After Tiffany was disqualified, Jonathan was the winner of a balancing on a floating platform challenge, and thus he received the power broker advantage. This is interesting. How did we feel about the power broker advantage? Not how it played out, just in general, the idea of it.
Loved it.
It was a good twist.
That twist I liked. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
great
good
twist.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
I think we all.
Christy actually
Interesting, yeah.
grasped
Interesting
the concept
dynamics.
of the twist. Thanks, Christy.
one. Did you go to FU? Is that where in Florida? Is that where you went to school? Got your
I had it coming. I'm
David,
fine with that.
she would have
Get your
preferred
degree in bullshit.
she would have preferred if they told everybody about it before the challenge. Oh, by the way, you're gonna win it. No. So post challenge, as we know, the tribe was split in two. I don't gotta explain to you what happened. You know what happened. So we ended up with another double elimination day, aka, as Scott would say, meh. Day 21 did mean something to this returning player, as that was the day she was voted out back in Survivor 45. Well, guess what? It happened again, and despite the best laid plans of she and Mr. Devons, they didn't foresee Sari and her extra vote sealing the fate
And
of
phones are
Emily
lighting up
Griffin.
all over the country. Right
I
now.
accented the second time.
no. He did much better. You have to do.
You did better. You did better. You're good.
Oh.
You're good.
Oh, we're voting her game.
Better, yes. Well,
You got the
I
slide.
say
Now you got it.
Oh, wow, it's so tough. Shit.
I don't care. I like Emily.
You know what?
I like
Only
that
for
she's,
her blunders
that
of
she's a
not
hot
knowing.
mess. I love her.
Like,
Don't care.
read the room. Like, don't tell people's business to the
I-
people that.
Okay,
Oh, come on.
so I'm here we go. I'm defending her.
Oh,
First
this
part
is
of her
gonna be
game
good.
was a hot
love
mess
her.
with all of her
She's
like
great.
just spilling. Yeah, she spilled out every secret. It was dismal. But when she got partnered and started working with Devons, that was fun because she was like, "You do you.
Not as fun
You
as
do
Christian.
whatever. I'm with you. I'm your partner in crime. Let's do it. I don't care."
But then
You
she
know what
was
I mean?
kind of
Like,
ticked
she's-
off with it. Oh no, that was
it was
Aubrey.
giving me like AJ. It was giving me like AJ and Miles vibes. You know, like screw it. What do we have to lose? You know, that whole thing. So she gets a thumbs up because of the last like 3 tribals that she was, there for. Before that, her game was terrible, but she squirreled through.
She was one of the people I did, one of the few new era players I was happy to see back. I thought she deserved another shot. But the problem was, as we all know, she, as I nicknamed her, in the tradition of the old Chaos Cast, I nicknamed her Anarchy Emily. Because anything she was told, she then went and told not only to everybody, but to the wrong people possible. And I'll give her this credit.
Yeah, she
Post game, she's been hysterical in interviews talking about her verbal diarrhea and how she was just vomiting everything out. It's like, no, I'm like the worst player. They should not have me back ever again.
No, I mean, there was times where she was like, the person's looking at her like, do not say it. And she's looking at them too. And it's just coming right out of her mouth to the person.
She just can't help herself.
She's just this walking
Oh my God, it
landmine
was-
that you're
yeah,
just waiting.
it's-
Someone's gonna step on it.
It's really bad.
She was the little bug in a bug's
But-
life. Like, don't go towards the light, Emily. I can't help it.
Yes,
She
that's
touched
exactly
the
what it
butt.
was. Ugh.
Okay, now
Oh well.
another thing is that she actually kind of like the way that she was Caleb in her first season, where he was like, "Hey, I don't know if you understand how you're being perceived."
Oh, yeah.
Which
No, that's
turned
why we
her
love
ass
her.
around. She did the same thing, but we did not get to see it. It sounds like she's responsible for the turnaround of Riz in this game, because she straight up asked him, like, "What are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? Nobody sees you doing anything. What are you doing?" And
all of those
that
points
got
are
him
completely
to move
valid.
around like, "Oh my God, I'm doing these moves, but yeah, nobody sees what I'm doing."
She
And
just
so
has
that's
to
what kind of
figure
made
out.
him integrate a little bit more with like the Joe and the Jonathan. And if she could have just like navigated that a little bit more center.
Yeah.
But she gets my thumbs up because I loved the hot mess that she was. It made the show more fun. And if we're gonna go on like
she
who is
did.
good TV, yeah, Coach is good TV, but I think that so is Emily. Maybe
And she's
for
dating
opposite
Ozzy
reasons,
now,
maybe
right?
the same, depending on what your personality type is.
Bullshit. No, she is not.
Yeah, she is.
No, she is not.
She is.
I think he has a baby and a wife.
She's not.
I'm teasing.
That'd be weird.
Anyway, speaking of which, the other person who met his end that day, what was possibly one of the biggest game-changing moments of the season, something that Devins had nothing to do with, and sadly, despite her best efforts from afar, neither did Miss Fields or Mrs. Fields. We next had to say goodbye to Ozzy, who we remembered from so many seasons. Season 13, Cook Islands. Season 16, Micronesia Fans versus Favorites. Season 23, South Pacific. And Season 34, Game Changers, one of the 5-time. But he got no robe, and he's got a vote out.
Oh,
I
he
don't
got
know
to keep his idol, right?
Yeah, well, they have to give those things back.
Sorry.
So you have to keep the idol.
This is
Maybe they'll let him keep it this time.
the
Okay, I'm gonna give him a thumbs up.
what's everybody's
because-
vote? I see
Oh,
David's.
is it everybody's?
I see
Yeah,
Brian's.
Scott has
Only
not
because
voted.
It's a
All
tough
right.
one for me.
Because he did the same thing Colby did, right? Had an
Mild.
amazing initial season, then a couple of returns that were kind of like, come on, dude. This one comeback, he did much better. The only thing is that, like, how do you not play your idol? In something like that, the odds were so in his favor when they split like that.
I'm
and it
gonna
was
raise
such a
my hand
small
here.
pool. If you don't think your chances are higher of getting voted out right now, play your stupid idol. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing with Ozzy. The beginning of his game was brilliant. It
Mm-hmm.
was. It was the best game he had done, even if he wasn't this challenge beast. Sorry, my feed is looping.
Yeah, it is.
Ozzy was not letting the little things get stuck to his back. And he didn't get the tunnel vision. I thought he was going to get tunnel vision with Christian. He let it go.
He let it
He
go.
was evolving as the game was going. He was doing great. And
He's like, don't be Ozzy,
Not
don't
only-
be Ozzy, don't be Ozzy. And he partnered
Right,
with
yes.
Emily early
But
on too. I
not
thought that
only
was
did Ozzy
good for
do the same thing. Yep, good partnership. But he made the same mistake, but he made the same mistake down to exact details.
yeah.
Because the first time he went out with an idol, he had a dream that night where he
Yes.
walked into Ponderosa and he still had his idol, and it was a whole thing. And here he is having that premonition again. Ozzy
And I'm just gonna
does not
say-
listen to his instinct. He only
He
listens
doesn't.
to other people.
Which is
And
super
that's where
weird
his game
because he's like all like zen, he's like meditating, and part of that whole practice is like looking inward and visualizing and like how is he not listening to himself if your instincts are literally screaming at you while you're sleeping and you remember it, because that's the trick? Why are you not acting upon it?
I would simply say that he,
Mhm.
on one hand, he was playing a great game by knowing to align himself so strongly with Mrs. Fields, and that was, I mean, as long as she was there to help guide him, where he might have made some mistakes early on in the game, such as directions they were originally going to vote until she came back with the Phoenix coconut, for example. But what ends up exposing his game is, but when he's left to his own devices and his own ideas, what does he do? He basically ends up sabotaging his own game by worrying about things like jury management at this point, and basically giving away his entire game from day one to a person who he knows who she is. You think she's
Right.
just gonna sit there and not do anything? You don't think the people on this tribe might be pliable? So he pretty much he doesn't do that. There's a good chance Aubrey might have gotten voted out of there because she wouldn't have had that ammunition. So
Right.
I mean, again, I think he overall played a much better game than he's played in the past, and to the point where he was a player that I never really liked very much, and I kind of liked him more often than not this season. But he did bring about his own demise there.
He
More
did.
so than I mean, everyone's fighting for who can take credit for it. Should it be Jonathan? Should it be Aubrey? Should it be Rizzo? It's like, who should get the most credit for it? Ozzy. He said the wrong thing, and he doesn't play his idol. Bing,
And
double whammy.
that's true. He also saw Emily with the not being able to hold her secrets. He saw that. Why did he not realize that he was doing that? You know what I mean? Like he was on the receiving end of her spilling beans. Like, stop it. He just couldn't help himself, I guess. Maybe they were at that day mark on the island where they start to lose their stuff because they're just like not able
Mama
to
C
process.
was gone and wasn't there to smack him in the back of the head and say, "Shut up."
She was conserving her energy on the hammock.
If they had listened to me and brought back Malcolm instead of Ozzy, we probably could have gotten a better game.
That's my question. Do we have a
Why?
picture
¿Y
of
por qué no
Hammock?
los
That's
dos?
the
We
best
can
game
have
of the
them both.
season.
Okay. Next, we have day 22 and 23 were packaged together in what might have been the most depressing night in Survivor 50 this season, although some might say the finale was. First, this is the one that hurt me the most, with no more tricks left up his sleeve. Not even the Hail Mary of a shot in the dark could save Rick Devens, who we remembered from season 38, Edge of Extinction. Time to vote, guys, on Mr. Devens and his gameplay and what we thought of him this season.
I'm a forever fan now. I don't even care. Like, I liked him this season. He was fine. But like now, it's like he's up there. Do you know what I mean? If he keeps, forever fan, Rick Devens.
Going into the game, Rick Devens was one of my favorite all-time Survivor players, and I think in many ways I enjoyed him even more this season. I found him to be one of the most genuine people and players this season. He's a person one of the few people who, from day one to the day he left, till he walked down that path, played this game as knowing it's a game, it's fun. He had joy, which you didn't see on a lot of players this season or most seasons, whatever. And it's hard to deny that some of the best moments of the season, in some way or another, revolved around or involved Mr. Rick Devens. In fact, I would even put him like, "Hey, you want to make him the next host of the show? I'm okay with that."
He'd be good. Do you think that part of his having fun and joy in it was that, like, very early on people were looking at him, so he was always playing from the bottom, so therefore it was just kind of like, oh, I made it through another tribal. Okay, that was fun. Let's see if we can do it again. You know what I mean? Like, everything was bonus time for him in his mind.
It's the Miles factor.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
play from the bottom. You have nothing to lose.
I remember Brian bringing it up early on our podcast, comparing him to Miles from Australia, and then I said, "Yeah." And then when he actually says it, literally, almost practically says it word for word on the show himself, is like, from playing from the bottom, he plays better that way. He plays with more power, more abandon, and even the moments, even when it didn't work, it was still great. When they tried to take the shot at Mrs. Fields.
Okay, but him hiding that idol at tribal early on was right. That was, I don't think anyone can ever do that again. That was the best thing ever.
Now, who was it who tried to play a symbol on the podium as an idol?
Is his name Adam? I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember him trying to pry the thing.
He kind of reminded me of that.
It was Adam.
But it was so genius, and like how they worked together, and he fell and made a distraction. They hit it. Forget about it. That was the best.
The beauty of Rick Devens is this season, I felt like, if the way I feel about Survivor is how he played the game.
Yes.
Like
Like-
if you just like if it was like Big Brother and you could watch the island 24 hours and you had different cameras, what camera are you going to pick? You're going to pick the Rick Devens camera. That's going to be the most entertaining one to watch, and the strategy and the things he did. And I liked, like, even when he got into it with Joe for a while wouldn't let that go. But Rick was like, hey, man, I'll work with you. Like he didn't hold grudges. He didn't try to unnecessarily provoke. And him
Maybe
and
that's
Christian,
integrity.
I mean, like,
Maybe.
just saying, hey, like, I'm a snake. I'm a snake that's a snake. I'm not a sheep, a snake pretending to be a sheep. And he played the way he wanted to play. And when they had those big guy alliances, if they would have welcomed him in, that's not his game. He doesn't like playing that game. He stayed true to the game he liked. And he was for me the most fun part of Survivor this season.
Yeah,
Also, I
I agree.
think he pointed it out himself on social media at one point. It's not irony, but it's kind of funny. With all the talk of honor and integrity, what did Rick Devens never do in this game that we saw?
Vote out an
those who
alliance
preached-
member.
Never voted against one of his alliance members. Unlike people who are all about honor and integrity, who cannibalize each other.
Yep.
I think Devens was the fun and the joy of the season, and I compare him to a different Australian Survivor player. He played with such an irreverence for the outcome that he reminded me of George. Not the actual way he did things,
not
but just I give no F's. I'm just going out to play, and I'm going to have fun doing it, And I just thought he was terrific this season. I enjoyed him a lot.
Actually, I thought you were going to say the guy who kept saying Joker all the time.
Well, him too. I mean, that's a fair comparison.
Maybe he's kind of like a fusing between those two a little bit.
Yeah.
Jordy.
Okay. And
Jordy.
And then even queens eventually lose their throne. It was only a matter of time that the number one, I don't want to sit next to her person, got voted out. Day 23 is when they cast off Sari Fields, who we know from so many seasons, we don't even have to list them. Time to vote, but we all know. Geez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to be the hated one here.
Oh.
All right.
And I'm prepared to defend this.
All right.
In my mind, Survivor has three distinct phases: the beginning, the middle, and the end game. Sari has played 6 times. She has never once displayed an end game. She is perhaps the most entertaining character in reality TV. She's great TV. She's fun to watch. She can't win. She shows no growth in her game. Her game, the 6th time, is the same exact game she played the first time. And I don't understand all the adoration she gets. She plays the same way. She gets about to the same place every time and gets voted out. And it's predictable. And
I think that's true largely, but I disagree with you that her game hasn't changed, because more than any old school player this season, she's the one that right off the bat said, I've got to merge my game from old school and new school. And she brought in Rizzo. She made an alliance that spanned the entire,
50 years
of Survivor, and used Rizzo in a way that a lot of the older players, and apparently the post-game commentary has been that when he got to Ponderosa, like, all the old school people are like, dude, you were a lot. She was perfectly comfortable working with him and using him, and got really close with him and protected him and protected Ozzy. And I think that is a testament to her game, that she didn't just say, I'm going to go with Ozzy and not reach out to a newer place. I mean, you couldn't find a newer player than Rizzo, and she worked with him.
I think she's a tremendous strategic player, but she's played 6 times and still can't make fire. She's never won an immunity challenge and never will. And that works for Sandra, but Sandra's won the game.
Yeah.
And Sari has never won the game, and in my mind, never will, because she has no end game. She can't get from 6 to 2.
But she has tried to change it, just because it hasn't been exactly the same game every time. Like this time, her grabbing Ozzy to make that alliance was her going, they're going to look at, she knows she's a huge target. She knows the deck is stacked against her, that everybody's eyeballing her. So what does she do? She grabs Ozzy and she goes, wait a minute. I can put him here. Now I'm less of a target. Then she saw that kid who was super obnoxious and kind of a lot for people and kind of pissing people off. And she went, come here. You know what? She put 2 targets by her. And how she got farther in the game
Yes,
probably
and-
because of it. But,
Well, that's what.
And I will say, the first time she went out, she didn't go out because she couldn't win the game. She went out on a bunch of twists that ended up backfiring at her, and it
Right.
had nothing to do
That's
with her
true.
getting
That was
voted out.
one of
She's the
that
only
was
person
one
that
time of
didn't
6,
have the-
and she still wouldn't have won the game.
But that was her. But that was her first round, and it set her up for the rest of the time. Yes, she cannot win challenges, and she probably should be winning challenges given that she can't get into that final 3 slot. But my
Yeah.
second statement is, you're going to hate this one, David, is that Jeff Probst himself says time and time again, the best players don't win. The
Well,
best
I
players
think
cannot
that's-
win Survivor.
And I think that's absolutely incorrect. I think the best player wins every season because the game is about managing the entire game and understanding what the end game looks like and understanding what you need to do to get by there. And you can't be the best player if you can't get to the end game. So I'm going to disagree with Jeff, shockingly.
I'm also going to point out the situation that happened to Ozzy is, as much as it screwed him and what he did, it
screwed
screwed
Siri.
her. And so the
Yeah.
that twist ends up really what ends up hurting Siri, because if I knew it's going to happen. I knew it's going to happen. Fuck y'all.
PG
Oh, you went
13.
to FU too. Got it.
Because think if they don't split the tribes, even if they do a double elimination, Ozzy doesn't go. It's probably Aubrey who ends up going, which changes the timeline
Yeah.
utterly. Ozzy was one of the only players who was definitely, as long as he was in the game, he was taking her. You know, he said it and she said it, whatever. So the longer that he was in the game, the further they might have gotten there, and that we might have ended up with a very different final 3, possibly, because the longer she's in there, she's going to be able to outthink certain other players who are there. So
I feel like some of these players that didn't make it to the end, but are like super fan favorites, like the 2 of them, I liked the way that they thought about it too, because they knew we're here to pick the winner of 50 seasons. We play this game. We love this game. Like Suri said, look what this game's given to each of us. Like, it's changed their life, made their life. And they really took that seriously. Unlike some players this season, some players, I don't think they understood the weight of the decision, that you need to have someone who's going to be an actual representation of the entire game. But we had a bunch of people this season who were afraid of the smart people. And a smart person won. So yeah.
well, at this point,
Well,
we're up to.
Smart people are scary.
I'm gonna push on here because we have reached the final 5, and on day 24, after missing immunity by just one not hammered in enough puzzle piece, that was when we bid adieu to Tiffany, who we remembered from season 46. Time to vote.
Jamie's frozen.
Yeah, she's having some issues, but she's thumbs up, I'm certain.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll just say for myself, Tiffany was one of the people that I joked all before season and throughout for a good big chunk of the season. It's like, I know, and also because my co-host's name was Tiffany and also a woman of color, so it made it even more fun for me. I don't know why Tiffany's here at all, and I mean both of them. I mean the one in the game, because I would have rather they brought back Jessie as opposed to Tiffany. But she was one of the people who changed. Maybe not a game changer, but a mind changer.
Yeah.
The more she played, especially as we got from the merge on, the more I admired her game. And I was like, okay, I could see myself rooting for this person towards the end.
And what season was she originally?
46.
40,
Okay, so
yeah.
it's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Jamie, I declared you a thumbs up. Am I correct for Tiffany?
For Tiffany.
And she's frozen.
Maybe perhaps. The thing
she's
about
moving.
Tiffany was she's one of the newer players and most recent players, but yet she did not seem to get like blinded by the mega stars that she was on the beach with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she still played her game. So good for her, because that might be hard in that situation, you know?
Is,
So like
is-
There was a real path if Rizzo didn't flip for Siri, Tiffany, and Rizzo to go further. And if you imagine if Ozzy had survived,
nobody was taking.
because you know, well, Ozzy's already said he was in all his, and I believe he would,
because he knew that was
I
going to
think-
make the fans happy. You see?
Well, and I also think he thought win, lose, or draw, I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to be a hero if I win, and if I got Sari there and she wins, I'm going to be a hero.
Mhm.
I think that's how he saw it. But I think Tiffany adjusted her game really well and had that really good alliance with Sari at the end.
Mhm. I would have
and I
liked
like
to see
that.
them play a little longer together earlier.
I
and
do
longer.
too. And I liked when it was the bros against her. She was like, I got to fight for my life, and
She
almost pulled
did.
it out.
Is there anything to the idea that Tiffany is an old school player playing in the new era? Because she feels like an old school
She
player
does.
to me.
It's the
That's
I mean,
fair.
she's maybe the only one who like, I didn't so much like the sour grapes after she went out, but I think she played an excellent game. I think she plays an old school game. She plays a tough game. She wins challenges. She makes good alliances. I really like her game and hope she plays again. Honestly,
yeah, me too. We'll see her, I think.
I hope we see Jamie again.
yeah, we're gonna pause here for a 10-second commercial break if that's okay with everybody. And we're back.
Oh, speaking
Well,
of,
some of us are.
Yeah, she's doing her best.
I know she is.
well, let me rewind the clock back to something I know someone touched on mildly earlier before we even got to it, and then we got to it and we forgot to mention it. We've talked about the way people have departed the game up to this point. Colby had a very honorable exit.
Mhm.
Some people less so, more so. Ozzy's was one of the more troubling ones, I thought. That was not just the shock, but just the anger that was going on with him, all the way up to getting his torch snuffed. I mean, I sort of got it, but he really should have been blaming himself because he didn't.
Oh, I think he
title.
was though, don't you?
The way he reacts to Rizzo. I mean, I know maybe he's looking at it being stabbed in the back, but he should have expected that. But
He was just so in shock, I think.
I'll explain
He
later.
really-
No. It was one of the more troubling departures, I thought, of the season. At least with Tiffany, once we heard more about what had been said to her before the whole tribal went down, it kind of did explain to a certain extent her attitude while she was there. But yeah. Okay. This brings us to day 25. We have 4 people left. This is the Lost in Fire Making Challenge slot. And the tragic thing here was the kid lost the previous season the same damn way. Of course, I'm talking about the Riz God himself, Rizzo Valovic.
And so, like, they didn't know that he couldn't make fire because they didn't see his season.
No.
Yeah, but he knew. So why wasn't he
Nope.
trying to learn that from day? You know what I mean? Yeah, I liked him much better this season.
Because I don't think that he ever came home. I don't know what they let them practice.
Right,
I think
but
Yeah, he was
literally
home. He was home for.
there.
No,
He was home for
at
10 days.
Ponderosa.
No, I'm not saying practice there. I'm
Yeah.
saying they're on the beach playing Survivor. Someone is making that fire. Get your little hiney over there and watch them and get some tips.
Who's holding
But,
the flint? I mean, like, I am curious. Where is the flint? Is it hanging? Does somebody have it in their pocket? Is somebody
Well,
like
they're-
holding it and going, I'm not going to let you walk away with this?
You
Jamie,
need for
how
him
did
to
you
just
vote
take
on
it
his
off and-
game?
On Rizzo's game?
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
I
David
think-
voted thumbs down.
He's gonna have to rebuttal
not
that, but
sure.
I
I'm
think
not
with
sure.
the-
I'll defend. I'll defend it. First of all, he's the most annoying player in decades, and second of all, he's another one that couldn't win. He's not. If he got there under any scenario, he doesn't win the game. And so
It's a tough one when you're with a bunch of return players. That's a really
look.
that's a hard hill to climb.
Did he do well? Yeah, but I think he was dragged along because he couldn't win. I just don't think he's good. I think he's
Well, in the
Oh,
post,
he's
he
real good.
played
in the
essentially the
post-press-
same game 2 seasons in a row. He was able to hold an idol, not use it. You know,
But
it
if you
served
go
him well
to the
first
people who
time.
played, go to the people who played the game with him, read their post interviews. All of them, upon watching it, were like, "Oh my god, I didn't know he was doing all of this. He was actually playing a good game."
Right.
It's exactly what Emily said when Emily said, what are you doing? I don't see what you're doing." That was
Well-
his big flaw.
And
in
he
his
if
could
you're
game.
play
playing a good game and nobody on the jury sees it, you're by definition not playing a good game.
That was his big flaw. He was
Well,
not
that's
showing his
untrue
moves
because it's
somewhat.
your job-
or at least defending them if he got to a final 3. If he was at a final 3, we don't know. He could have listed his
Yes,
resume and said,
he
"I
would
did
have.
this, I did this, I took
He would
place of
have.
this," and then you
Yes.
have somebody like Marianne who was like a sleeper.
Yeah, he could have married
and all of
it.
a sudden it was
Mhm.
like, "Oh my god, she actually
my God.
was playing this whole
And-
game." So
And the fact that he could have been, and what you guys don't know because you haven't seen my season is blah 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 blah. You know, he didn't
But
have
he had to
pivot
get
and
to 3
change
to
his
do
game
it,
this
and
time.
he could not make a fire in order to be able to do that.
So
But
but
he-
here's the thing: on the beach when they're making fire, okay, they're not rebuilding that fire every day at camp.
They are, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
but
isn't
it's
he
usually
involved
like
there?
one person that kind of
No,
like,
that needs to
okay, so
stop.
you know on Big Brother, on Big Brother, Chrissy, where you've got one person that claims to be the kitchen, the cook, the
right?
one person
No, I get
that's
it.
like,
No, I get it.
that's
but
what I
it's-
have to offer. The same thing
I-
happens with fire, and the people who are the fire holders, like, will just kick
But you could
dirt
go
and
down the beach
sand
and build
at
a
the
fire
faces of
somewhere
other
else.
people.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
there's-
If you
I
can
think
get
I
a
would
hold
be
of that
big-
flint.
I think, but you want to know who can make fire. That's information you need to have in the game for the
Yes, you
end.
do.
So why aren't you every day going, you make fire? I want to see you make fire. And every time he takes a turn, why not? Kick sand
I
in
think
it,
that's a
let's
good
make
idea,
fire.
Christy. And I think that
Just
if you're
saying.
on Survivor, you
I'm
need to
gonna
bring
do
that to
that.
the table
I'm gonna say,
because
listen, we all
somebody
need to know
should
who can make fire.
And I'd be like,
I
the
like
hell
it.
you are. I'm going to make the fire again.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think making fire is going to be viewed by the tribe, even whoever the magical mystical flint holder is viewed the same way as someone going off looking for an idol. I think it's perfectly reasonable
yeah,
throughout the
that's-
course of 26 days or whatever, or after the merge, whatever point in time it is, for anyone or everyone, like, hey, let's start practicing fire because we don't know if there's going to be a fire making challenge. It's not being arrogant by doing that.
And-
It's just boning up on a potential
like-
skill in case you get it that far. I
Well,
don't think it'll be
what else
viewed
do they have to
negatively
do?
by anybody.
But I've also said forever, how do you get chosen to play Survivor and not make that your mission in life before you leave? How are you Suri, who's played 6 times and still can't make fire?
Correct. That's true.
I mean, to me, that's just mind blowing. I mean, look, I understand that she's not physically
But her flag
able to
eventually
compete in
went
other
up. Her
challenges,
flag
but a
eventually went
fire
up in Australia.
anybody can make.
She did make a
But
fire.
can,
She-
can I
Yeah,
talk,
but also
can I say
fire is a target.
One thing.
Go, Brian.
I just want to say about like we've gotten off on a side quest here,
Oh, sorry.
and I want to talk about
Not
Rizzo's
us.
game. I want to talk about Rizzo's game. I think
Yeah, let's do it.
Rizzo had the most information in the tribe. And I know one night when I was on the podcast with Scott, I pointed out like Rizzo had connections when they merged with everyone. He knew what was going on and he brought all that information. That's why Sari never had to get off the damn hammock. Rizzo was out working the ground and getting the information. And I believe had Rizzo made the move on Sari early, I believe if he'd have
They
waited
did.
one more round, it would have been better. But I mean, that's part of him building his resume the way he thought he should build it. The things he made, the things the alliances he was working in. Hell, they tried to bring him into the four guys, the four horsemen. That they were going to bring Rizzo into that. Like all these
He's
people
gonna
were
get his
giving him
own name.
information. Let's be honest, like some of the best quotes. I thought maybe the smartest thing ever in the season is when he told Coach, you need to chill out. We don't slay dragons at camp. We slay dragons at tribal. Like that shows a kid who's pretty smart at the game and is learning. And I thought between last season and this season,
He's
his
much better.
game took an immense jump.
Mhm. I think he
But-
learned a lot being around the
Yeah, but
the
are you
professionals.
just playing up to the competition at that point? Right?
Well, but
I
some
mean,
of the best play the best and they suck.
right? Yeah.
He's a super fan of the show. It was his dream to be on it. He knew all of these players. How does a super fan not know that he needs to know how to do fire before they go out there?
So Christy,
He
let me
does
get
a
this
know.
fair
straight.
point.
He
Are you
does know.
irritated he didn't know how to make fire?
I am as the super fan because who was the player who literally like practiced every freaking challenge?
A lot of
wasn't
that.
that Christian
before the-
at home? Or no,
Okay.
it wasn't. Was it Christian that
someone
like
who's a
built the
super fan.
models at home?
and prepping
No.
themselves. Rizzo, the one thing you can prep without having to buy anything is
Cars.
you could go and try to make.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
That's a-
Rizzo. Christy really wants you to learn how to make fire before
Come
you
on,
come back.
just be a fan.
But even if he
Two
makes
fans.
the fire, he doesn't win.
I don't
think you
care.
could say
He
that
would
till
have
you
taken
hear him talk
Jonathan
at
out.
jury.
There's
Well,
no way
here's
he'd
the
be
thing.
angry with this particular jury and how I have read how he was treated at Ponderosa. He wasn't well liked. There's no way he wins.
Not
Here's the
even
thing,
Colby talked
David.
to him.
Here's the thing. We aren't voting for him to be the winner.
We're
just
not.
voting if his game was good or not.
I would have been glad if he.
I think he had a
knocked-
good game.
He had been the one to knock Jonathan out because I think that would have hurt Jonathan so much.
I would have liked it, but
This kid, this skinny, literally emaciated kid, beat me. How dare he?
I think,
yeah, he was looking
mean,
rough at
to be-
the end. He was.
to be fair, there's only maybe one or two players Jonathan
fair.
wouldn't have been upset losing to, anything like that. You know, everyone else would have fallen into one category or another. And if it's not, buff dude, he would have been pissed off. Anyway, speaking of final three, that's where we are. So, Jamie, I believe you had a plan of action here once we made the final three. The final three, of course, being Joe, Jonathan, and Aubrey. Are we saying we're going to do our vote here, or what say you, hostess with the mostess?
I think at this point, I feel like I know where this is going to go, but we're going to do
Yeah,
this a little bit backwards from what they do it, in front of the jury. We're going to write down our vote. We're going to count that vote. And if you're the odd man out, then I'm going to have you defend it just like we were thumbs up, thumb down. This is really just about like taking my curiosity and putting it to rest because
Yeah,
I kind
I
of know how this is going to roll.
Yeah, I kind of foresee where we're going with this. Okay, I like it. I like what it's like match game. I can hear the markers. SCOT.
Do we all
we're
need to
not
like,
gonna
look
all-
into the camera and go?
I only
"Way
have
to go."
one.
Yeah.
I only have one T in my name, right?
Yeah, I think we should go one at a time and raise our thing up and say it for the people that are listening without the video.
Now, out of these three, you write down who you believe it should be. Yes. And we're going to each take an individual moment and we're going to hold up our vote and say who we're voting for. And we will start with Christy. But I'm going to need Scott to say, I'm going to tally the votes.
All the votes are in. I'm going to tally the votes now.
All right. Christy, you go first.
I feel dirty.
Now tell us about Applebee's.
Bourbon. That bourbon chicken.
Pervert. You
Cold
food
slaw.
pervert.
Scott's fancy like Applebee's.
With sliders and beer.
I don't even know where we're going now.
Need some ASMR while we're doing it too.
ASMR at Applebee's.
Okay, Christy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, hold it up. What do you got?
Reveal.
Aubrey, I'm
Yeah.
so happy to vote for you. Girl, you did it. I'm so proud of you. You finally did it. And you beat those stupid boys.
Yeah, stupid boys.
Can we
Okay,
just keep holding it up?
Scott, you got it. All right,
Brian.
Scott.
Joe, I want to, just kidding.
He totally got me. I was like, what the hell?
Aubrey.
He's on a 0 vote now.
Aubrey, I am so happy to vote for you. The first part of this game, you really had us all worried, and you really came alive. You broke and went your own way, separated from Devon's at a time when I really questioned it, but you saw a path I didn't. And I give you major props for sticking it to the Meathead Alliance. Congratulations on a great win.
Meathead Alliance or the Cheater Alliance?
So, in the interest of being a showman, I'm looking at who we have here. I will now reveal my vote because I think those two should be the final two. And I also went with Aubrey, even though it's reversed because I didn't think to write it in reverse.
Oh, no, it's not. We see it normal.
It's not. It looks fine to us.
Aubrey, I questioned your game at the first half. I thought you were getting too mired in the Genevieve silliness. It cost Genevieve, but thankfully it didn't cost you. But once we got down to it, I liked how you bobbed and weaved, how you were fluid in how you switched up your alliances, and you made the right moves. You weren't a player I was particularly thrilled about coming back, but at the end of it, I was glad you came back, and I think you deserved the win. That's all I'll say about that. And now, can you see where I'm going with all this? Jamie, reveal your vote, please.
All right.
I should have been doing this in a Scottish accent.
Final vote. My final vote
Murder.
is murder
Jamie.
for Soul Survivor season 50. Is no surprise. It's Aubrey. Aubrey, you were the original nerd girl of Survivor. I liked you every season. I'm so glad you finally got justice and you took down the big boys, and I loved it. Well done.
And now, the vote
I don't know.
we're
I don't
all
think
so curious about.
I
And
think
we-
that's
and
it.
we
We
have
just
such-
announced her the winner because, none of the other votes matter, do they?
Then we wouldn't have
Yeah,
got
Votes don't matter.
All right.
Just so you know, Gabler is not playing this season. So
We're all very curious, David.
Mr. Gott, what you got?
Reveal your vote.
You know, I'm a big believer in the cast is always right. Aubrey. No question. No question.
Clean
Unanimous.
sweep.
Do I think Jonathan played a much better game than he played last time? Yes. Do I think he deserved to win? I do not. I think he deserved the second place finish he got. Had he played against the other two guys, I think he wins. But he should not have won against
Probably.
Aubrey. She played a better game, and it was a well-deserved win.
I would have
Yay!
if it had been the three guys. I wonder if Rizzo would have been able to make an argument. We'll never know, but I mean,
No,
it could have
probably not.
happened.
here's
I-
here's
What
the
happened?
here's the
Jonathan
winning
did
play.
well with his argument. It just because of who he was up against, he had no shot.
I think his cheerleaders
Also,
in the
because
jury
half of the
hurt him,
jury didn't
too.
like him. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
did
I
can
think
we,
that
can
hurt
we
him.
talk about that a little bit? There's this
Oh,
new trend.
In just a
so
second. Well,
cringy.
let's talk
Okay.
about that. But I want to raise one point that I
Yeah.
think should be made. Aubrey's winning move was picking Joe to go with her, because if she made Joe and Jonathan do fire, one of them goes to the jury and votes for the
Jonathan
other
would
one
have beat
Yeah.
it.
for
Mm.
sure. And by sending Rizzo, by Rizzo going out, Rizzo is always pliable. That was the only one of the four of the three left that she had a chance of getting their vote was Rizzo. That
As
was
it
her
turns
winning
out,
move
she
for
didn't.
sure.
She didn't need it. Because she won by 2. But
No,
Yeah.
but if Jonathan goes to Ponderosa, Jonathan
Mhm.
likes
it was a 5-3.
Jonathan and Ozzy like each other. Like there's a possibility that it's a lot closer. Her definite winning move is when Rizzo went out. Jamie and I were texting, and I think we're like, well, surely she's got it. Here.
Yeah, because
Like, once that happens.
they would have surely voted her out had she not won the challenge. And then
I
it would have
think
been
there's
for
without a doubt.
sure. And it would have
Oh,
been the 3 guys and you'd had a different outcome. But she deserved to win. You can't
Going-
take it from her.
Going into the finale, we were all thinking probably the same thing. Please don't let it be Jonathan. Like, please let it be one of
That's
these
what I was
ladies,
thinking.
right?
That's what I was
It was
thinking.
kind of like the season had been. I felt like this was the season that Survivor needed to reboot the blood and get people reinvigorated here because it's been kind of in and out. But this was a great season.
It's been
We
10
needed it.
years of shit, let's call it.
I mean, there's been
Or 10
moments,
seasons
but
of shit. 5
this
years.
was an amazing season. As soon as they got down to the final 5, I was like, unless Aubrey, sorry, Jamie, unless Aubrey wins, this is going to be a shit season. Is literally what I thought, because I thought of those 5 players in their time of playing Survivor, she was the one I thought needed to win the most. That would be the
Yeah.
most representative of the game. A strategic
And the people who
player.
know the game best agreed with us.
Yes. And that's the thing. And you get online and you see these people with their sour grapes, and it's like, no, he played the best game, blah, 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 blah. No, because it's a game. It's not who can go out and win challenges and be strong. Even at that, Jonathan only won 1 challenge. Right?
I would like to
So-
give you my response that I had. I sent this
They
to
only
the broadcast ladies after viewing an interview with Jonathan, where he was like, "Oh, tell me, Mr. Dalton, where did I go wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why can't I win this?" Here were my answers. 1, you need to try to see women as your equal. Start there. First and foremost. 2, understand that a social game is about perception. Your perception is that you are the hero. The jury's perception is that you are a gaslighting asshat. And 3, have confidence, not ego. You are tall, but that does not mean you are closer to God than anyone else out
Ooh.
there.
That's
And you
That's why
literary.
Jonathan didn't win.
He tries to play this aw shucks, like I'm so humble, Mr. Jeff. He's not, though. It's a stick. Right? He's all zen and peace and love, except he's not.
Well, it's like he's just like the entire honor and integrity alliance bullshit. I mean,
Right.
the fact that someone said there is like going his whole thing was like it's in God's hands. Well, if you truly
Oh my
believe,
God, when
you
he
truly
said that.
believe that, you wouldn't be one of the most complaining post-Survivor losers that I've seen in quite some time.
Right?
I've seen that happen from
Thank
time to
you.
time. He's not like he's the only one, but it's pretty bad. I mean,
I really wish.
the one with Dalton Ross is just one of them. There's been several. That I've
Mhm.
said,
Yes,
let it
many
When
of
she
those.
won, I wish she would have looked at him and said, as God intended.
Maybe
As
she
she
did. I feel
intended.
like Aubrey would.
Because, come on.
Well,
Well-
do you know for the Big Brother fans that have watched the past season? So in this particular group that I'm speaking to is Christy and David. Jonathan has the same. It's like the same energy, or it's the same like winning tactic with different words as Paul. And Paul has the friendship, but friendship has been swapped out for, well, honor and integrity. And 2 times in a row, they go out on a loss next to somebody they could have won. They could have, had they
And-
dropped that shtick.
But here's the deal. If they're talking to each other and that's truly what they believe, that's fine. Say honor and integrity all you
Yes.
want. But when you go to tribal and you put yourself up on this pedestal like honor and integrity, people get sick of that really quick because you're just, come on.
But
I will
the
give
problem with
kudos
his
to
game-
Joe when Joe finally went, yeah, I just realized that like in Survivor, you can't have honor and integrity.
You
There
think?
you go, Joe. You
It's
have
a game.
increased your chances of winning.
The problem with Jonathan was, and we saw this, we saw what he did to D, and then at Final Tribal, he's like, "Well, I made you mad and got
And
you out."
Christian,
Like that's not gonna necessarily.
Right.
If you know D and you've studied her, that's not gonna sit well with her personality. And then to tell Tiffany, "Well, yeah, you're equal to Joe, but we're voting you out because you're a girl." Like his
yeah,
jury
I don't want you to
management
have the girl
sucked.
record.
Did,
Yep.
did he actually say that, or did he
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Did he
No, he said
say that because of the record,
Yeah,
a
because you're a girl.
female with 3 challenge wins is superior over a male with 3 challenge wins?
That's just as bad as saying you're.
But
a
that's
girl.
what I think.
First
No,
of
it
all.
isn't. No, it isn't, because the records are what
But
they
to
are.
say- To say
If the
it's
male
more
record's
superior.
7 and the female record's 5, then a female winning 3 is more significant than a man winning 3 by far.
What he said was that it's because she
I don't
was
know
a
if that's
girl
what
and
he
her-
meant. I didn't hear the comment. I don't
and
think they
her
aired
getting
it, right?
and
It is
and
so
her
good
beating
that
that
he's the
record.
producer and we can't cut him
Yes,
off.
that record obviously is a scary thing, but he
Mm.
presented it as because you are a female, I'm not taking you. Joe is the better option. Could have been
We're
dealt
also,
with better.
I mean, I have to, I can't be, unlike many Survivor players, I can't be a hypocrite. If I said earlier that I don't want to go too down a rabbit hole based on things that I didn't see that weren't part of a cut, that's
Sure.
among them. So I don't, so it becomes a hearsay situation because I don't know if
He's
that's what he said. You know,
But you don't
I
need to have
what he
heard that
said.
to know that he's kind of like that. Like you don't need
Right.
the specifics to know he's kind of a douche,
Here's-
right?
This entire season is all about if Tiffany had gotten her goddamn foot off of the platform.
Yep.
Everything changed.
That's it.
You're not
That's
wrong
all
about
of it
that.
right there.
If she doesn't get this, if Tiffany doesn't get disqualified, she wins the power broker advantage, which
Mhm.
means Ozzy's safe. Then we see, and then also Jonathan doesn't have a big calling card either, which was
Right.
bullshit anyway.
Mhm.
It wasn't even.
And then we see how we go from the game from that point on, because Aubrey is the one who gets knocked out at that point. It would have been Aubrey,
Yeah.
because even though she and Aubrey were kind of together at one point, Tiffany had solidified being with Suri at this point, and she would have went out. She would have went along with them. And they would have gotten rid of Aubrey.
You know, when Survivor first started, you'd get super thrilled at watching these people do these hard challenges for so long. And honestly, sometimes for so little reward, it was amazing to watch these when it was a challenge beast. Anymore, it's not really that impressive because those people, if that's all they're doing, they're not really playing a game. You know what I mean? Like I had made a thing I had said to someone, if these people wanted to have just be, I'm in control of my own thing. I can win my own challenges. I can save myself, that sort of like whatever macho guy thing. They should go on the challenge because that's something where you are put against other people. You have to win to advance every time.
But we've had people that have won that way. Who was the firefighter? I can never think of his name. He won out and won that way.
Tom.
It was a long time.
That was
ago.
a long time ago.
Right, but my point is that
back then
you
that
could
was
do
kind
it.
of
Yeah, it
impressive.
evolved past that.
But now
though.
people are
It's-
much
yeah.
more impressed with the strategery because
Well, I
there's
think you
so-
have to have a balance. And that's why I think Suri is overrated, because she can't win a challenge.
Okay, that's fair. And Aubrey won when she needed to.
Well,
Yeah, and
So
she would
that
not have had a
balances her
chance
too.
to win
Yeah.
if she hadn't won that immunity challenge.
Well, also as
All
the
right,
years
the right person won.
Yeah, I
As
agree.
as the years progressed for Survivor, the more you started to fold in everything from when you first put immunity idols into the game, and then all the various advantages that started to get added more and more, it started to become less about who was winning challenges at that point. It started to become more about the strategy of how am I playing idols, where are we finding them, how are we playing these advantages.
Who's my alliance? What's my secondary and third alliance?
That became more the focal point. Whereas if you go back to like Cole, I don't remember Colby being the great strategy player, but he was a challenge beast.
Yep.
I mean, season one, I don't.
Ozzy
season
too.
one is such an anomaly. I can't
We
really
didn't-
count, it's hard to count it because no one knew what the heck they were doing.
Right.
You know?
And as viewers, we didn't even know what we wanted to watch. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was all new. So that was just like what it was. But now, and the same thing has happened with the other, like Big Brother has changed. I mean, traders and I don't know.
Well,
but
Traders
they have
is a show where
it's
the
too early
challenges
still.
are virtually irrelevant.
Correct. But I mean, you
But
see
you get a
shows
shield.
like this 50
Okay.
seasons. There's no
I
way
said
you're not going to
virtually.
have it evolved. So
I think that in order to, regardless of what era you're in, and whatever this open era brings, the key factors to being good at Survivor is you have to be able to at least win one challenge. It might be Samotion. It might be the last challenge you could possibly win. But you got to win one. Because if you are doing everything else right up until that point, you have to win that one. Otherwise
you
you're
go home.
cut and you're gone. So you need somebody who is socially available, has a good self-perception, and has a good instinct. Sometimes we see people that are really smart, but their instinct isn't good. Or we see people that have instinct and it paranoids them right out of the game. That
Or they're really
well-rounded
smart.
person. Yeah,
They
and
like it. They
that
have to know
well-rounded person
when to
is
talk, when
kind
not
of
to.
it's hard to find. And Jonathan,
Unlike
he
this
improved
podcast.
his game. Jonathan improved his game from his last season. He already had the physical thing down, so that wasn't a big issue for him. He worked really hard at being a provider at camp. To him, that was a huge component to his social game. I don't know that that's necessarily the big draw anymore, but for him, it was something he could bring to the table. So he provided, as we heard Stephanie go on and on about. Where he, and he had this training from one of the greats. We had Rob giving him all of this training, and he used
I
some
think
of
Rob
it, but where he stopped is the exact same mistakes that he made his first season. Is he had somebody that he was like, they're a middle player, didn't take him seriously, and bam, that's who got him in the end. I knew it was going to happen the second he went, well, Aubrey, what we need to do is this. And she's like, yeah, I know, I've played this game before.
I've played this more than you have, honestly.
And that's it. It's the Marianne of it all over again. If he can shift that dynamic, then he played a really well-rounded game. But that's a huge component. And when you've got all these people sitting up there at jury and you've treated all of them like they're just dum-dums, this is what comes down the
a guy like
pipeline.
Mark from Australian Survivor, who was a big dude too, who spent the entire game hiding his size in the river to try to downplay his physical advantage, right? Because he was trying to play more of a social game.
And speaking of people that hide in rivers, really, that doesn't make any sense. I'm just giving a segue so Scott can enter this conversation.
Jump, Scott, jump.
What were you going to say?
Go, go, go.
I don't know. I'm able to navigate it when I had 4 people on my. Anyway, I think it's funny that we kept talking about and kept hearing about the fact that he had gotten all this advice or training or whatever you want to call it from Boston Rob, and by the end of it, it looked like he took too many pages from Russell Hantz instead of Boston Rob.
Yes.
Not understanding how to manage a jury. It's funny. Ozzy screws up because he starts worrying about jury management way too soon. This guy didn't really think about it because quite frankly, he knew he had a few votes locked in. Even though it's funny, Coach is now saying he kind of wishes he had voted for Joe. Which, by the way, just so he would get a vote. why you're saying that.
For friendship.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
Rizzo has come out and said he was going to
Rizzo
vote for
said that
Joe
also.
for that
Rizzo
reason.
Rizzo
But he
said
was
that as well.
but he was afraid it would give it
He would
away.
give it to Jonathan. Yeah.
Yes. So we haven't spoke about Joe at all.
Gee, I wonder why.
Do any of you guys any of us see any growth in this game versus his last?
I think he actually did far worse than he did his first season.
He seemed like an unhappy warrior. Like he didn't want to frickin' be there.
Which makes me
read on
sad. I thought maybe he had a little room for growth. I wanted to see how he played when he didn't have somebody he was looking after. But it turns out he doesn't play at all unless he has someone to look after, which we got to see when Rizzo was struggling with fire. That was a very lovely moment where Joe got to do the Joe thing. But other than that, I can't even, other than the Joe in the hammock, I can't really think of any other Joe things in the season. Not that we saw. Anyway.
Joe is an old school Survivor player who's a decent enough person that there's stuff that's likable about him, but he's not super charismatic. He's not super witty or funny. The best thing I've seen about Joe is after the game, he has been probably one of the most magnanimous people, having lost in this manner twice.
Yeah,
he's completely loving it and not being bitter, Nancy.
Completely opposite of Jonathan's energy, right?
Completely the opposite of Jonathan, yes.
Well, maybe he was all of this runoff. I think there was talk that this entire time that they were waiting for the live show, like Jonathan pretty much figured he'd won. Like he was pretty sure he'd won. Right? Was he like acting up?
That's why he got that great haircut.
So maybe Joe kind of saw some of that and was like, dude, that's not a good look. Just in case. I mean,
okay.
Talking about
who thought Ozzy would at least get a haircut before the live finale? He's still shamboing the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like he cut the length in the back. He just has that like crazy side shave thing all the kids are loving.
But that's like literally the style.
Getting back to the Joe of it, I think for me, other than the fact that, you know, the whole situation where people had to babysit and worry about having to tell him about every single vote and whatever. My problem with him was the whole Devin situation, and he couldn't let go. And the way he reacted and described what, you know, those of us watching perceived as like some of the most fun things we've ever seen on Survivor, but to call it embarrassing and disgusting.
Yeah, come on.
That's because Joe.
You can be annoyed with what Devin's pulled off and did, but in what way is it disgusting?
It's disgusting because he's playing the game, Scott. How dare he?
Why are you playing that game? Here's the thing, Joe. You want to know what? Joe had major growth. Let's go back and point this out. Joe did have major growth because one of the biggest complaints that we've had about Joe first season and this season, I know Christy and I, David and I, Brian, we've talked. He's a sore loser. He's a sore loser. He kind of turns into a baby when he loses. He tries hard not to cry and to reel and get all super mad about it. And when he did not win this, he's been great. Like we said, he's handling all of his post interviews. He's handling himself with honor and integrity.
So like weird. It happens to you once and you go like, God dang it. You know, that stings. If it happens to you a second time, it's like, oh, it must be me.
It's my fault.
I am not good at this game. And I think Joe would be, I don't know what other game is out there for them to play, but I think he would be much better suited.
Amazing Race. He needs to be an Amazing Race.
But that
by the way, I made a joke. I made a joke last week that I thought was a joke, but apparently it's true. I said, damn, Joe's wife looks like she was in the WNBA. Turns out she was for 7 seasons.
There you go.
And she's actually like the Sacramento Kings, like a broadcaster who
Joe's
wife? Joe's wife.
Didn't Joe used to do some sports announcing or something? No, maybe not.
Lord.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Is she taller than Joe is? I guess I didn't see his wife.
She's very
taller
tall
than him.
She's tall. Yeah, she's taller than him.
His tall ass wife.
So a different topic I want to raise before we're done. Because we've seen it. We just saw it on Australian Survivor, and we just saw it on U.S. Survivor, where a key individual on the jury goes from asking questions to, in fact, being an advocate, interrupting other people as they try to talk, and arguing with other players about their positions.
I love it because that's what a jury's supposed to be doing with
Is it really though?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it really?
Yes. You go, okay, Brian,
Brian,
break down how it really works after they've heard the case.
Does a jury interrupt testimony to argue with the person giving the testimony?
No, but
in fact,
but you have
seeing.
But the juries don't usually
the
get to
jury
ask them
room
questions point blank either.
The jury room, like they retire to, you just saw what happens in a jury room in front of us because they don't retire to go discuss it before they vote. They're carrying out the function of a jury, which is as a body of people decide, like make arguments for and see what they want. Now, like I love that Stephanie gave the longest question that wasn't a question in the history of Survivor.
That isn't who I'm talking about, but
we
okay.
know
right, but like the idea is like if Christian said it best. Christian's question is exactly what a jury does. Like you the way you win a trial, the way you win this game is a story. It's not challenge wins, it's not data, it's what's your story.
And
so they're arguing the story.
But
the jurors are arguing the story the players were telling.
The juror is stopping the contestant from telling the story, and that's what I have a problem with. In other words, if they get their say and then the jurors want to fight back and forth and they want to show that, that's great. But the jurors interrupting a contestant who's asking a question from another contestant to disagree with them, I have a problem with it. And we saw it. Mark did it. Suri did it.
Yes, and I'm going to say that's not new. That has been happening since the beginning of Survivor.
They start with their first statement.
It's because there was a block of time where they were allotted to have an agreed upon question by production, and that's all they were allowed to ask. And before that and after getting rid of that, this is how the juries went.
It's better.
If somebody is telling you, I did this,
I think it's better too.
Yeah, if somebody's telling you, I did this, this, and this, and someone in the jury says, wait, no, hold on, because this person said that you weren't a part of that. Can you please clarify that? Now we're correcting the plot points of the story. We're getting
that's fine to do it after the person stops speaking, but they're actually interrupting before they get their words out to prevent them from getting their story out of the pews.
But they were filibustering for Jonathan. That's why Serena.
But I'm not
they should be on our podcast.
Interrupting another juror is fine. Interrupting one of the three people who are answering a question actively is where I have a problem. And there is a distinction there because they should be allowed to
go back and watch the first three. Go back and watch some of the first seasons of Survivor, and I think you just forget how brutal those juries used to be.
Yeah,
I just think it's been long enough now that you forget how Sue. Yeah, there's rats and snakes.
And here's the thing: they're asking a question to the juror. I mean, to the contestant, right? They're answering it back. If they say something that they disagree with, why can they not interrupt them and go, no?
Well, because they should be allowed to tell their story.
But they get to give their opening
but the point is
at the beginning.
The point is,
give me the specific instance you're referring to.
Is Jonathan was saying something and Suri dead stopped him and debated it with him instead of letting him finish his statement and then taking issue with it. And that I have a problem with it. Mark did the same thing.
You didn't like the decorum.
It was almost like they were trying to prevent the candidates they didn't want to win from speaking.
Oh, I'm afraid they really wanted Jonathan to win. I'm sorry.
Suri?
I think that they wanted Jonathan to win a lot, actually.
I just did it.
Who do you mean?
I said Suri, my phone off.
Oh, there we go. Everybody you get your phones, turn them off. He didn't.
You
he
say
didn't
that that's what they
swoop it at
wanted.
the
They
end.
wanted Jonathan to win. Who wanted Jonathan to win? Who's
Yeah.
they?
I think production was. I think Survivor has a horse that they're always
I
going for,
think
and
that
they chose Jonathan.
Jeff would have been happy with it. Yeah, I think some of them are like, oh, that'd be
I
great.
mean, Mr.
but
Jeff.
yeah,
Mr. Jeff.
I will. I do believe. I don't necessarily. I don't actually completely disagree with David on this. I get what he's saying, and perhaps
Yeah.
she should have went after him.
Yeah, you
without
don't like the
interrupting him.
decorum of the.
but we're
It's not a
seeing-
decorum thing. It's the contestant should get their say.
Do you think that Tribal's edited at all?
Oh, there was
we get
hours.
more-
Oh, of course.
There's hours
Okay.
cut out of this. But but I will also point out that when Mrs. Fields and
Every time you
Tiffany-
say that, I want a cookie,
Mm.
Scott.
I know I'm really hungry now. When they started doing their questioning and clear advocacy for Aubrey with what they were doing, this came. It was kind of clear as you're watching, at least as far as the edit was concerned, since everyone loves edits here. This came in response to and following how 2 of the 3 Zoom Alliance members were clearly trying to go that way for Jonathan, which is by the way, that's fine. I mean, most people in the jury already know who they're going to vote for at this point. And if you want to advocate for them, that's fine. Maybe don't do it in such a cringe-inducing way, because I think that ultimately hurt him. I mean, if Stephanie and Chrissy had chosen to be a bit more eloquent about it and been able to cut apart, Aubrey's game, maybe a couple of the votes might have gone his way. That didn't.
Well, the whole package thing was a little.
Oh my God! Yeah, the total package.
The total package,
package.
whatever. But when Sari interrupts him, that's after they've been gushing over him. Perhaps the rest of them they were sitting there.
But he can't be
Hold on.
responsible for the conduct of the other jurors.
I understand that, but maybe Sari was just like, y'all, we're gonna speak real here now, and we're gonna say that this was this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I know Mark did the same thing in Australian Survivor at the end of last season. So I'm not saying it's unique to Sari in any way or shape or form.
And also, if Jonathan had pivoted to answer the question, perhaps they would have showed it. So maybe he just got off track, and that's his.
No, I don't think she
problem.
was given an opportunity. He was given an opportunity. I think she
I feel
said
like
what she said, and then another question was asked.
I feel like
That's
there's
editing.
a lot. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's editing. I think there's a lot of juries that just have somebody who is in charge of rallying, and maybe even self-proclaimed in charge.
But what happens?
There's
if
usually
you're-
one person that kind of stands
It's
up
the
and directs
foreperson.
it. You
right?
know,
But what
Right,
happens
no
when you're
doubt.
in a jury and there's 2 people who are truly delusional, and everyone else has to sit there and go,
Well, you know what happens? The person gets acquitted.
Well, also the mayor of Ponderosa was the one to point out that someone was not asking a question. I believe she even used she wasn't going legalese on us here, Brian, but she did say something along the lines like, "Is there a question in here?" Because we've been standing,
yes.
and that kind of opened up the door
Yes.
for everything.
And that sort of banter between the jurors, I think, is fine.
Mhm.
But again, I just
okay.
I when the contestants are speaking, I think that everyone else should be muted till they're done.
Unless it's Rizzo.
Hey, you know
and
what,
then you're
David?
okay
That's
muting
super.
him.
You know what? I feel like whenever I'm talking, everyone else should be muted. So I get it.
Fair.
I get
Everyone
it.
in the world.
Okay, guys. David, I think you brought up good points.
Mm.
Everybody, you played your part well in all of this, but we have been rolling for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I want to
Holy
give
moly.
everybody
One
a
more
proper
thing we have to
send-off.
talk about, though. We have to talk about the production F-up.
The what?
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Are we thumbs upping or
Oh.
thumbs downing it?
Well,
Jeff?
I have graphics for it, so
No, okay. Here's what I will say.
Grab your
That's why you
jars.
want to use
Grab
graphics.
your jars.
If they use
This is
this
what I'm
as the
talking about.
reason not to do another live finale,
he's
I'm
already
pissed.
said he doesn't want to do another one.
He didn't want to do
Yeah,
this one, but the fans
He didn't want to
wanted
do
it,
this
damn
one
it.
either.
Self-sabotage.
They didn't
Yeah.
do one. They didn't do a live reunion.
No.
This wasn't a
They
live
did it.
reunion. This was a clip show.
It was a live vote reading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they really
Yeah,
botched
it was
was-
lame.
it was fine,
It
but
was-
it was late when I was watching it, and I didn't want to watch all that. I just wanted to know who won.
Well, that's why you
I
wait till the next
was
day,
very-
David. Jeez.
I think it was the most exciting finale we've had in 10 years.
I think that's true.
However, it still didn't have all of the magic of the 5 years, sorry, 2 seasons per year. It didn't have the magic that the finale like reunions would give us, because we didn't see everybody there. We didn't see people pre-merge getting their moment to say something. That sucked. I missed that. But it was
I
so
heard
much better than the right off the bat vote reading that we have been getting, in my opinion.
They needed.
I heard Fishback say something I really agreed with, and that is the thing that we all want to see at a reunion that this didn't give us is the stuff where like Jeff goes, "Hey, so Aubrey and Genevieve, are you guys okay now?"
Right.
Like,
I
like, hey, Christian, have you and Mike talked? Or are you guys okay? Like, those are the kind of fun things that the reunion show gives us that we don't get. I'm sorry, Scott, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I think you might know what I'm going to say, because I think we talked about this last week. Biggest issue where you could have cut a lot of the extraneous crap, and then that mistake never would have happened. Whatever. You brought back 24 players. Some of these players go back 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them should have had an opportunity to say something in some form or another, and I would have been infinitely more interested in that than what
in a regular season. Maybe not this one. All vets.
It's Survivor 50. You went and got Jenna and Colby and all these people, and we don't get even a question asked of them.
And to have the finale be like a real celebration of Survivor, the 50 years, right? Like, make it a big deal.
Yes. Yes.
Quick thing. I know you want to end this, but I'll make it real quick. So, did we have in our own minds what our greatest surprise or greatest disappointments were of this season, at least player wise, or did we cover that while we were going through the 24?
I mean, I feel like Devon's was the biggest surprise
who our
for
greatest
me.
disappointment
I don't remember
was?
liking him that well the first time.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought he was the whole season this time for me. It was like,
Yeah.
like when I watch, if George is
You wanted to see
playing
what he was gonna do
in
next.
Australia, I'm like, oh, George is going to be there. I got to watch, right?
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way about Devon's. I do now. So
I'd say my biggest surprise and why I voted yes on him is I really appreciated seeing Ozzy as a person, as an older man, and how he finally is actually humble. And he was never really humble before. And seeing him basically bow to Sari and humble himself to work with her and work with Rizzo. I thought there was a lot about Ozzy that I learned this season I didn't know, and learning that, he wanted to go by Oscar because Oscar was his dad, and he wanted to be more like his father and not play like the Ozzy he had been. And I thought he showed a lot of growth, and I was sad when he left, and it was dumb the way he left.
Yeah.
But he them to give him that T-shirt at the end, which was one of the things that sucked. But he took that pretty well. That's kind of a low blow. Like here, hey Jeff, like let's fucking rub it in. Oop, let's rub it in one more time. There's my swear jar. Whoops.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed and appreciated watching Ozzy. And the other thing is I hated Rizzo last year, and his game in this I really enjoyed. Like I don't mind to see him again now.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I actually, and I know this is like a running gag, but I mean it, everything that Brian said, that's exactly the two I would have picked, and my point of views on those.
My biggest, I would say I've always liked Ozzy. I've always thought I always wanted him to dig deep and be better, because I thought he had it in him. But my biggest surprise was Rizzo, just him, because again, the Riz God thing, that has to go. You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that, okay? Just be yourself. And, being the Riz kid is much more enjoyable. That's someone we can root for. Nobody can root for God, okay? When you're not a God, okay?
And make fire, you piece of shit.
No, I think he should practice. Him and Serene need to get together and both practice, honestly.
There you go.
My biggest disappointment.
Charlie.
No. My biggest disappointment is that Jonathan got to the final three. Oh, and Joe, equally. The both of them got to the final three. That's my biggest disappointment. I didn't want either of them there.
Yay!
I wanted
love
it to be
that,
a
Kristen.
real spectacular final three.
Final.
You know,
You weren't vibing it.
Would the season have been better if they'd have brought back Rob and Tony and
No. Nope.
no, Tony wasn't great on the Australia. The
Well,
World
no, I
Cup.
know he wasn't, but I'm just saying
I
that
just don't think he has it in him anymore.
Nope. For as much
Rob is
complaints
over it.
as I had on who they cast and didn't cast, I think overall I have to hand it to casting and production. They did find people that had some sort of dynamic with each other or against each other. There's still always going to be people that I wish would have been in it.
Sure.
Omar.
But hopefully next
Jesse.
time, right?
But it does leave them some wiggle room to bring
And
them
I
back
hope
down the
that
line.
some of
so.
the ones that they asked back this time that ended up not being that great, maybe don't come back again. Maybe then we get a Jesse.
Let
we
him
get,
rest.
We get, yeah. Like if they couldn't pull it out second time, like Joe, honestly, guys, we don't need to see Joe play again.
Hey
Nope,
Scott,
we got
what
it.
was your biggest
It's gonna be
surprise
the
and your
same.
biggest disappointment?
Oh, thank you, Brian. Since we've been doing a lot of twinning, I'll do it again. And biggest surprise was I'll do a combo, Rizzo and Jonathan. I didn't think either one of them would make it very far. I wasn't in favor of either one of them being brought back. By the end of it, I grew to like one more so than I did in season 49. Although I think I kind of liked him in season 49. I didn't hate him. And I was never a Jonathan fan. I'm still not a Jonathan fan, and I'm not a fan of what he did post finale. But I was probably most shocked by his game than almost anyone else this season, and him getting to the final three. Disappointment, I'll go to again. I've already said it a few times. Charlie and Genevieve. I mean, these were two people that I had earmarked for being final five players, and they, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't even make the merge. They got tunnel vision, too focused. Each of them shot themselves in the foot horribly, quite frankly, to a point where I don't know if they deserve to be brought back again. I kind of still hope they do, but I hope they learn from this. Look, I know most people go with Siri being the MVP or whatever you want to call her of the overall season. For me, it's Devins, because Devins made me want to watch week after week. What's he gonna do? If there was someone who was a game changer on this show, it was him. There was someone who's actually made it fun to watch. If there's someone who I'd actually like to meet and talk to,
Yeah,
it's Devins.
he would
Siri
totally
was very
just,
nice,
for sure.
but Devins.
he's passionate about it. He would totally just sit and talk and laugh, and it would be like a normal conversation, right?
I recalled how much I loved him in his season, and that was one of the times where I remembered how much I hated the fire making challenge,
liked him a lot.
because it cost us Devins. And I was like, and then a guy who had a target on his back almost from day one, it felt like, even though he didn't look like he was one of the legends there. He wasn't the Ozzy or the Suri or whoever the hell else, but
He's so chaotic.
Oh. But he's really not.
I don't really think he is.
Now
'Cause
I
he's
have
playing.
to pretend I'm Jamie for a second and say tough words for me. I totally agree with Scott on the Devins.
There you go. You've said that many a time before, Dave.
I know, but it never gets any easier, Scott.
I think it's a beautiful place to wrap this up. Okay, guys. The tie. It's time for this alliance.
I do have one more question for everybody. When we did
Christy, we're done. We're running.
I have one.
We're setting sail.
No,
Buckle up.
No, Christy, Rizzo can't make fire.
Oh, that's not what I was going to ask. Did we make predictions in our pregame show? Did anyone pick Aubrey?
No.
I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
No.
I
we did
just
not.
wanted
I
it
don't
to
think
be
that
an
we did.
all
I don't think we
strategic
made any
player
predictions.
at the end who could all debate each other really well. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them
I
really
think we got
have to
that.
go for it. You think so?
And I think
The
we
jury
got it.
debated each
Yeah.
other. I don't know that they debated each other very well.
Yeah, I think
One-
It's
that's
fun
true.
for all of us.
One didn't say anything, really. So Like if we would have had
be here.
like if we had had a Charlie, Genevieve, Aubrey final three, something like that, that would have been better.
That would have been more interesting.
Anyway, I don't know.
I agree.
All right,
but
that's
guys.
it. That's all I have.
Okay, so where can we find each of you? Scott, when we're not here, where can we find you?
You can find me at the Serious TV Drama Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us anywhere. If you have access to something called Google, that's how you can find us. Either find our platform, because we are everywhere. Spotify, Amazon. Sometimes we hop on your guys' feed and try to steal some of your that is the flagship podcast. That is the only actual functioning podcast I am on right now, and that's where you can find me.
All right, Brian.
You can find me hanging out with you cool kids, and my only personal thing is you can find all of my content at Legal Fergus on Instagram.
All right, David and Christy.
Well, tally the votes. We're always here. And coming up, Christy, what's next? I can't remember. What do we got coming up?
Well, the rumor is that there is going to be a really hot world tour this summer. It's going to be hitting all of your channels on AMC. We are talking about the Vampire Lestat. That's right, Mr. Sassy Pants. He's got his own show now, and he's got a few things to say about what Louis wrote because
he wants a rewrite.
It wasn't right.
And
so we're gonna get to see all that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be musical and dramatic and
fabulous,
crazy and toxic and romantic and sexy and
that's
rocking.
just David.
Yeah, well, that's just David.
And when I look in the Vampire Lestat's eyes, he can start a fire.
Yes, he can.
With that spark.
Yes, he can.
That spark. Well, if you like, you can listen to this whole 2 hour and what are we on? Like 2 hours, 40 minutes?
2 hours and 32 minutes.
It's a marathon.
You can listen to this
seriously
via the podcast over at Jay and Jack's Whole Enchilada feed, where we would like to hand out a high five to the patrons who contribute at a certain level. They are Eckhart Rickner, Joanne with the Plan, Maggie the Magnificent, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. If you would like to become a Patreon, then scoot your booty on over to patreon.com/Jay and Jack. Whew. Okay, guys. It's been really fun. It's been amazing to run through all of the stops of the seasons with you guys. I really do truly appreciate each and every one of you and the time that you have taken during this season to talk about this game that, for all of our own reasons, we had, hold pretty close to our heart. So with that, our first full wrap up of the Lost Alliance is done. We leave you for your travels. Sleep well. Bon voyage. Thank you. Good night.